Number 30, Doug Collins at guard, hitting better than 60% in the playoffs for the 76ers. After a tough 7-game series, they went up against Houston, and they eliminated the Rockets in 6 games as Erving goes to Bibby for the hoop. We're ready for Game 1 in the Spectrum.
The NBA World Championship Series. Today's game is sponsored by Light Beer, everything you always wanted in a beer and less. The Kelly Springfield Tire Company, the Kellys, they're good and tough. And by the totally new Chevrolet, now that's more like it.
They have come alive in Philadelphia. The often complacent basketball fans know that they've got a series on their hands. It's for the NBA World Championship. It's the 76ers against the Portland Trail Blazers. Good afternoon, everybody. I'm Brent Musburger along with Rick Barry, and I hope that you have been looking forward to this series as much as we have. Late injuries on the 76ers. Let me quickly update. Lloyd Free, not in uniform this afternoon. In civilian clothes, will not play in Game 1. Steve Mix, injured an ankle Friday, will try to play in this game even though the ankle is swollen. Darryl Dawkins, hit in the eye in the Houston series, will be able to play. He says that he is fine. And Rick, how about the style of the 76ers? What can we expect in this series?
Brent, it's like the classic matchup. You have the boxer against the slugger, and of course the slugger is Philadelphia. They can knock you out in so many different ways. They have such great individual talent. And of course, Portland again is the boxer. They like to be methodical. Very good, sound, fundamental team concepts. We're going to take a look now at a couple plays and show you different styles of play. Philadelphia, of course, they like to run a great deal of the time, and they try to exploit the fast break as much as possible. And this scene that we're going to see here, Darryl Dawkins in the center in the circle there gets good position here on a shot coming from Calvin Murphy in the Houston series. Now watch as he gets the boards. He looks for that outlet pass quickly, makes a great pass out to Collins, and Collins and Erving really exploit the break better than any two players. Erving, right there, sees the defense commit, makes a great pass to Collins. Collins takes it on in for the easy basket. Philadelphia wants to do that all the time. Conversely, what they do poorly, I think sometimes, George McGinnis with the ball in your circle, goes one-on-one a great deal of the time, as do a lot of the players. When they do this, it allows the defense an opportunity, as you see here with the arrows, to collapse in the middle, clog everything up.
Ladies and gentlemen, we've temporarily lost the sound of our program coming to you from Philadelphia, the NBA World Championship Series with Portland and Philadelphia. We'll continue with the video portion. Please stand by. Ladies and gentlemen, they haven't tapped off yet in this basketball game. The first game of the NBA World Championship Series between the Portland Trail Blazers and the Philadelphia 76ers. We hope that we will correct our technical problems before the game opens. Please stand by.
Collins and the Portland Trail Blazers. Collins, Davis will start. Dave towards it can play. Walton, Gross, and Lucas. The officials for Game 1 here in the Spectrum this afternoon, Earl Strom and John Vanek. Strom, 12, will throw it up. Vanek wearing number 9.
One other thing that we should point out, Brent, on the injury situation, George McGinnis has been playing with a bad groin, and he has been very ineffective. In fact, his shooting is down in the mid-30s, and this could be a big factor in this basketball game because he has his work cut out for him going up against Maurice Lucas.
Matchups will be so important. Jack Ramsay in his customary position, down on one knee. Formerly the head coach of the Philadelphia 76ers. He has come home. He was born in Philly. Trailblazers in red, 76ers in white, trimmed with blue and red. It'll be Walton and Caldwell Jones, and you can just see the anxiety. Tip goes to McGinnis, quickly to the doctor.
Well, that's one way to start a ball game. That gives you a tremendous lift, get the crowd going for you. Portland lacks on defense there.
Offensive foul. It'll go back to Philadelphia.
There's the play coming off on the tip shot. McGinnis gets the ball, throws the lead pass to the doctor. 2 points.
1 foul on Lionel Hollins. Backcourt pressure, said Jack Ramsay. He will pressure Bibby all over the floor. McGinnis driving, went back, and on the turnover, here's Bobby Gross, his 30, off of Hollins with control. There'll be some tension here early. Hollins controlled by Big George McGinnis.
That's not a good shot for Portland for their first shot of the game. They should have tried to run their offense and get a better opportunity, perhaps inside with those cuts to the hoop.
Davis matched against Bibby. They'll switch in the backcourt. That's Ramsey's plan. Inside to the doctor, got behind Gross. Walton.
Great backdoor play. Bill Walton was there, but the doctor was not to be intimidated.
Walton has signaled the play by rotating both hands. There are a couple of options. A contact in the corner. Erving picks up his first foul against Gross.
Julius being a little aggressive here in the early stages on the defensive end. Shows you he wants this game badly.
They go right side. Walton, a marvelous passer. Lucas into Gross, working against Erving. Caldwell Jones, outlet to McGinnis. Portland back on defense. Well, they can't get the easy layup. They'll have to set a play. McGinnis puts the ball down and goes to Caldwell Jones, left side. And Lucas cleans it off for the Trailblazers, who are yet to get on the board. 4-0. Just underway. Game 1 of the NBA Championship Series.
Now they should get it into Bill. Run some cuts. Get to the hoop.
McGinnis was out on Lucas. McGinnis has fouled out twice of the 4 times that he has been matched up against Maurice Lucas and Portland. Lucas has fouled out once. The teams split. It was a home court series, 2-2. Here is Walton out high. Muscling in, Jones staying with him. Inside to Gross, a pretty pass.
There we talked about it. That cuts to the basket. Let's take a look at it right now. Walton tries to make his move. Good defense being played. Cuts him off at the baseline. Now you'll see coming into your picture Bob Gross, who loses Julius Erving and gets an easy basket.
4-2, Philly with the lead. McGinnis signals the play. Davis out on Bibby. Lucas gives McGinnis a lot of room, and now must stay close underneath. Collins maneuvering on Hollins. Walton bats it, and the doctor's got it at the offensive end. And did you see the strength of Maurice Lucas? Jump ball, but he was yanking, Rick.
Well, he sure was. To take the ball away from George McGinnis, you got to be doing something right. Here's the play right here, the shot coming up. You see them battling for position. George gets good position, goes up for the ball. Lucas was able to sneak inside. It was a good play by Lucas, but also a nice play by McGinnis.
McGinnis and Lucas could be a war before it's over. Erving puts it down on Gross, comes inside a little too far. Outlet Walton, great passer. Here comes Hollins in a foot race with Bibby. Under control, but missed it. McGinnis now to Bibby. Pressure back at the 76er offensive end. Off now to Collins, who slides baseline.
Doug Collins is so super with his body control. As we watch this play here, the doctor with the ball makes a great pass, seeing him come on the side. He goes baseline, reverses underneath, puts it in for 2 points. The Sixers are off and running, Brent, and the Portland Trailblazers are going to have their difficulties if they don't do something about that break.
And a foul on Maurice Lucas. That's his first as Ramsay bends into the huddle. And at the 76er end, Gene Shue kneels down. His team ahead by 4. Timeout in the Spectrum.
I had my own way of tackling. I used to grab the whole backfield. Then I threw guys out until I found the one with the ball. When I started drinking beer, I did the same thing. And this is the one I'm holding on to. Light beer from Miller. It has 1/3 less calories than the regular beer. It's less filling, and it tastes terrific, too. I also love the easy opening can.
Light beer from Miller. Everything you always wanted in a beer, and less.
We're good and tough. We're the Kellys. No roads too rough. We're the Kellys.
When you need tires, from basic 4-ply tires to our latest Aramid Plus radial tires, you want to ask for the Kellys. The Kellys. They're good and tough.
We're good and tough. We're the Kellys. Rolling, rolling, rolling.
Next Saturday at 4:30 p.m. Eastern, CBS Sports Spectacular presents the 55th annual Red Bluff Roundup Rodeo with the top cowboys competing. Gary Wells will attempt live to jump over 21.5 cars. And we'll have the mixed doubles bowling championships. That's all coming up next Saturday at 4:30 p.m. Eastern on the CBS Sports Spectacular.
Back in the Spectrum with 9:28 to go in the first, and Rick, Philadelphia's been tougher off the glass so far.
Well, that's going to be a big factor here. The team that can control the boards are able to ignite their running game, and both teams like to do that, although Portland's trying to have a controlled running game against the Sixers. They don't want it to get helter-skelter.
Inside to Walton with that patience, waiting. Gross uses the screen. So Bobby Gross with a couple of hoops.
George McGinnis and Julius Erving just actually got in one another's way, and that's why he was
Offense
so
on
wide open.
Erving.
That's a good play by Bobby Gross. He will do that. Julius never did see him, and he got good position on the play. As we see the ball coming in right now from out of bounds over to Julius, you see he never saw Gross. Gross is right there. Got to give a little act with it, but it was a good call.
2 fouls, Rick, on Julius already. Bibby backing into Walton. Gross comes down the baseline and puts in his third basket. All 6 of the Blazers' points. 7-6 Sixers ahead by 1 free throw.
Well, Bobby Gross is having a good time out there now, and with Julius in foul trouble, he's going to be a little leery about getting too close to him and picking up that third one. Could be a big factor here.
Hollins on Bibby, off McGinnis's hands. Bibby retrieves. Bibby. Walton battling. Jones came up over the top of him.
Good hustle by Jones that time. You can see many times that Bill Walton will lose that kind of a defensive rebound.
Contact. McGinnis has picked up another foul underneath, and that's 2 on George.
Coming down the floor, Lucas and McGinnis were going at it pretty good, and McGinnis neglected to throw his elbow and knock Lucas off right in front of Earl Strom. Not the place to do that. That's 2 on the 2 big forwards for Philadelphia.
And Steve Mix with an aching ankle. They rotate right. Davis. Davis will take the jumper off iron. Jones gave the Blazers just 1 shot. Backcourt pressure, Davis.
That's what Jack Ramsay wants. He does not want to allow them to get those breaking opportunities if possible.
Philly sets a play. Lucas on McGinnis. George backing in. McGinnis comes up with the one-hander. Batted away Walton. Hollins, but Collins was back and Jones was right there. Lucas, a good shooter outside. 9-8 Philly, 7:49 first quarter. The doctor goes to work on Gross, and Gross seals him up at the baseline. McGinnis to Collins, flying down the middle. Walton takes it off. Collins was open, shot just didn't go. Hollins with pressure off to Gross, and Gross has put in his 4th field goal.
Take a look at Collins on the last play. He cuts down the middle, sees the opening. Unfortunately for the Sixers, he missed it. Walton got it out, and a good break for Portland.
Blazers up 10-9. 4 field goals for Gross, 1 for Lucas. Bibby pull up. Was fouled that time by Lionel Hollins, his 2nd foul.
So we've got 3 of the most important players in this basketball game picking up 2 early fouls each. The 2nd on Hollins, and of course McGinnis and Erving with 2. And these fellas are going to have to be a little more tentative out there. They get that 3rd foul, and it could cause a lot of strategy changes on the coach's part.
Henry Bibby, who played 1 year at UCLA when Bill Walton was the center. They defeated Florida State for the NCAA championship that year. Bibby puts the Sixers up 11-10. 7:15 first quarter from the Spectrum. 2nd game on CBS Thursday night, 9 p.m. Eastern Time. Walton waits, Walton jump hook.
Bill has really perfected that shot. He's doing a heck of a job with it. It's almost impossible to stop.
His first field goal in this championship series. Portland's first appearance in the playoffs, and they go for the title. They double-team the doctor effectively. Bibby pushes one up on Davis short. Bibby regains as Lucas couldn't hold on. They seal up the doctor, and Gross knocks it off. Walton there, too.
It's incredible. Bill Walton is just zoning in the middle. He's not even leaving the center position. He's just letting Jones roam outside.
McGinnis outside tries to bring Lucas, but it wouldn't go through. Outlet quickly by the Blazers. Sixers are back on defense. Lucas left side up over McGinnis. An extra inch, and Walton came up over the top. Walton has picked up a foul up over Jones.
There's the play here. You see Bill coming down, trying to get into the boards. He jumps up, makes a little body contact. That's going to happen under there, and the officials elected to call a foul.
Davis goes right with Bibby. Battled his way through that screen by McGinnis. Gross pressuring Erving underneath. Shot clock a factor. McGinnis puts it down and goes to the basket. George McGinnis wants to shoot, Rick. He thinks it's very important.
Well, he hasn't been shooting well from the outside, and wisely he put it on the floor and went to the basket. We are going to preview Bill Walton. We'll isolate. That's a director's view. And when we see something, we'll bring it back, and Rick Berry will tell you about it. An isolated preview. Traveling. It'll go to the Sixers. 13-12. Sixers up by a point. 5:52 left, first quarter. Hollins with 2 fouls. McGinnis with 2. Erving with 2. Walton with 1. Lucas out on the ball, which was being handled by Jones, the Sixers center. Look how far out they've got the Sixers playing offense. They're 25 feet from the hoop. And Bibby shoots out there, Rick. Davis came out on him, and it's a foul on Bibby, who was reaching back on Davis. Earl Strom right on top of that play. They see Gene Shue. He wasn't too happy with it. Tough job, Brent. Every time you blow your whistle, somebody's mad at you. There's Lucas looking in. Jones over on Walton. Walton with control now. And you could see Jones trying to pressure him away, and he fouled. And here's the isolation we were talking about, Rick. All right, here's the play coming back right now. Lucas sets a good screen on Collins. Now he'll get the ball. He'll try to spin to his right. Caldwell Jones is standing there trying to hold him. Foul was called on him for impeding Walton's progress to the hoop. Jones' first foul. Darryl Dawkins and Harvey Catchings over on Gene Shue's bench. They'll see Walton before this championship series is over. One thing there is that you see, as you see Jack Ramsay calling out some instructions to his team, is Bill Walton has the ability to shoot the outside shot as well as you saw now, put it on the floor and go to the hoop. Something that Jones does not do that well for Philadelphia, allowing Bill Walton the luxury of zoning up the middle, clogging it up for the Sixers trying to get their penetration. Tied with 5:19 to go in the first quarter. The Memorial Golf Finals after this as Erving puts the Sixers up by 2. That's just a great individual effort by the doctor. Nothing much you can do about it. It was good defense by Bob Gross, and if he's going to beat you with those type of shots, well, I guess you deserve to lose. Walton wants it. Main man in Ramsay's offense. Again, Jones pressuring. Walton out high, facing the basket. Jones over on him, and he fouled him again. It is going to be a tough series for Walton. Let's take a look at the doctor's last play. Starts to go to his right. He gets cut off there. Goes back to his left, and just makes an incredible tough shot over Bill Walton. Well, in Game 4 of the Los Angeles Laker final, Bill Walton hit the floor in Portland repeatedly. He probably needed the week off just to rest up. And here we can see the muscle being applied by Philadelphia against Walton already. That's George McGinnis on your screen. You can see that he's worked up quite a sweat, as they say. Perspiration is a little better word. When we talk about Bill Walton, Rick, the one man who never knocked Jack Ramsay's center through his first 2 years in the NBA was Gene Shue, the coach at Philly. He has always said that Walton would become one of the finest in the NBA, and how right Gene Shue is. Timeout for the 76ers. Shue will talk to his team. The Blazers and Bill Walton are tied now. It's 15-all. 4 minutes and 54 seconds left here in the first quarter.
Chevy Chevette can save you time and money. Let me show you. Chevette's owner's manual recommends an oil change and lube just 3 times in 25,000 miles of normal driving. Oil filter twice, spark plugs and fuel filter just once. Compare that with Datsun and Toyota. 25,000 miles. About 2 years of normal driving. Chevy Chevette's engineered to give service, not get it.
Chevy Chevette, it'll drive you happy. Chevy Chevette.
Hi there, what are you doing?
Go ahead, say it. You think I goofed, don't you? So I got the wrong paint last time, so it didn't last. Don't rub it in.
But sweetheart.
Admit that I was smart enough this time to get Lucite paint. Lucite's tough. It has a special tough sealing process with overlapping mica plates to help seal out moisture and resist peeling and cracking. So give me a break. I'm doing it right with tough sealing Lucite.
You do everything right.
And for rustic wood, do it right with Lucite Exterior Stain.
Presenting honest blue jeans. Nothing plastic or phony about them, because they're all cotton, 100% easy washing cotton denim. And the Lee Company makes them with a patented finish, so they won't shrink, never need ironing, stay neat looking. And sometimes looking neat comes in mighty handy. If denim jeans aren't all cotton, they're not denim jeans at all.
Following the game, CBS Sports presents the Memorial Tournament with the top touring pros shooting for the championship. That's the Memorial Tournament from Muirfield Village Golf Club. Following the game.
Back in the Spectrum, a reminder of the golf tournament coming up after Game 1 of the NBA World Championship Series. And Rick Barry, the 76ers, 6 of 16. Portland, 6 of 11. But the 76ers have 4 offensive boards to none for the Trailblazers, tied at 15. McGinnis and Erving with Gross watching him.
They made a defensive switch. Walton is now on McGinnis.
Off iron. Outlet by Walton to Hollins. He's got Davis, cuts to the glass. Pretty play.
It's that great fast break that Portland has. Bill Walton gets it out quick. Lionel Hollins gets it to the open man, and they score 2 easy points.
And that's the difference right now. 17-15. Portland ahead. First 2 games in Philadelphia. Second 2 in Portland. Then the series seesaws 1-1-1. If it goes the distance. Walton off. Outlet deflected Erving, but Gross regains and goes back to Walton, and here's Lucas.
Bobby Gross played excellent defense on Julius Erving that time.
Hollins. Only 1 shot, and Gross came out on Doug Collins. Foul on Bobby Gross. As Commissioner Larry O'Brien sits at courtside and watches Game 1. And who is that man over there next to the commissioner? I know he's not pulling for Philadelphia. He's supposed to be impartial. We better get somebody in a Trailblazer uniform on the other side. Inside to Erving, goes up on Gross. Lucas gives him just 1 shot. Hollins quickly to Bobby Gross, pull up, uses glass. That's 10 points for Gross.
That's a great pass that time by Lionel Hollins. He looked to his left side, got the defense moving that way, whipped it the other way to Gross for the easy jumper.
Here is a warning for delay of game against the Trailblazers, and they have been warned. Gross is 5 of 6 now, Rick.
As you see the play right there, Hollins made the great pass to Gross off the board. Nice soft touch, and Gross is a big factor right now in this basketball game, both offensively and defensively.
As he was in Game 3 against Chicago out in Portland. McGinnis against Walton, hits it outside.
Yes, but they're forcing them to shoot outside. That's the 5th consecutive shot from the outside for Philadelphia, and you're not going to win consistently doing that.
That was the trouble they had last Sunday in Game 5 against Houston, as the Rockets made him go outside in the second half. Lucas got McGinnis up. Now Lucas comes back and hits. Under pressure, Maurice Lucas hit that one here in the Spectrum.
George McGinnis got a break there because Lucas could have drawn that foul.
Hollins off to McGinnis. Can't make it 2 in a row from that spot, and again it's outside, Rick. It's 21-17. Blazers with a chance for a spurt. Offensive foul, and that is 3 right now.
Let's take
3 on Hollins.
Let's take a look at Bill Walton on defense in the last play. You see him there in the middle, getting good position, seeing the ball going up, great timing, gets the ball out. But that foul is a big, big foul for the Portland Trailblazers. 3 fouls. Now Lionel Hollins, who is the orchestrator out there, he directs the flow of traffic. He's the one that makes things go. And we'll take a look at the play here. He goes, there's good position, he tries to force his way in. Looked like Collins got position after he left his feet, but still a foul as far as Earl Strom was concerned. And Jack Ramsay has made a switch, bringing in Herm Gilliam.
Ramsay talking to Maurice Lucas, Al Domenico tending to Doug Collins. Owner Fitz Dixon of the Philadelphia 76ers. He does not sit at midcourt. He sits off to the left of your television screen, underneath the basket, close to the 76er bench. I have seen him go over and actually listen to Gene Shue's huddle during the regular season. Bibby working against Davis, and also Robin Jones, 34, is out there. And Steve Mix will try that injured ankle. Walton is out. Erving and Davis and Bibby were battling, and a foul has been called. Loose ball foul against Davis, and they are in the penalty as Bibby comes to the line.
Well, Bill Walton will be getting arrested on the bench now. The 76ers are going to have to try to capitalize on that. We'll keep a close eye on Steve Mix and see how well he functions on that injured ankle of his. And, of course, the Philadelphia team, as you pointed out so many times, Brent, they're relying on that outside shot consistently. It's allowing Portland to get good inside position, get the boards, and get their break running. So they're going to have to get better penetration.
Daryl Dawkins. You can hear him coming when they start applauding in Philadelphia. Now, Dawkins took an elbow in the eye during the Houston series, was hospitalized. It was inflamed. He says he can see fine, expects to go at full strength. Walton is out. So let's set the lineups. Davis and Gilliam, Lucas, Jones, and Larry Steele out there for Jack Ramsay. Davis goes into Robin Jones on the turnaround, and the NBA's only successful walk-on this year hits the field goal.
2 minutes left in a quarter.
You can hear my friend Zinkoff tell everybody 2 minutes left, and we've got a foul. Steele got outside and picked up his first foul.
The doctor is trying to go down low and post both Bobby Gross and now Larry Steele. And that time Steele, in his anxiousness to get over his shoulder, will pick up the foul. You'll see the play coming up here. The pass from Bibby over to Mix. See Steele trying to go over the side. It really didn't look like he hit his body. Julius was kind of holding him off, actually.
6 points already, Rick, for the doctor. I think it's 7. Ramsay signaling from the bench. A year ago, Erving led the New York Nets to an ABA championship up over Denver.
One thing, he's got 7 points now, and it's a situation, though, where he scored only 1 basket from the outside on an incredible shot early in the game. He hasn't hit his jump shot.
Dawkins taking Jones. Erving on Lucas right now. Bibby's out on Gilliam. Here's Davis. Outside. It is short. You can hear the Blazers yelling. It'll be the 76ers ball. They're behind by 2. They can tie it.
Davis a little tight on his outside shooting. Be interesting to see if Herm Gilliam can pick up the slack a little bit. We'll keep an eye on Steve Mix on the top of your screen there in the right-hand corner.
Pressure in the backcourt. It is Mix who helps out. Lucas on him. Dawkins, and now he takes it. Short. Hollins with an offensive rebound in the basket. 5 points for Hollins.
Offensive rebounds helping to keep Philadelphia right in this basketball game right now with that outside shooting being off.
Portland on the right side. Lucas away from the hoop. Jones retrieves. I would say that 8-day layoff has affected Portland. They are not smooth yet. Lucas. Erving controls. On the floor. Off right side, Bibby. Back. Oh, Collins to Mix. But only one shot as Lucas controls it off to Gilliam. Gilliam and Mix gives the Blazers 1 shot. Inside of a minute, first quarter. It's racehorse. Bibby was coming past Gilliam and drew the foul.
Let's take a look at this excellent ball movement on this break by Philadelphia. Here you see Bibby with the ball. He whips it in the middle of Collins. Great behind the back pass to Steve Mix. Once again, the outside shot not going down for the Sixers. But this is exactly the type of game that Jack Ramsay does not want to get involved in. They're running up and down the floor, firing up shots. This is an opportunity for the Philadelphia 76ers, with the great individual talent that they have, to exploit that. This is when the players are at their best. And so Portland's got to control it a little bit. You notice with Walton out of the game, Brent, that Portland is not running their offense very smoothly at all.
Jack Ramsay has just sent Dave Twardzik into the game. Doug Collins will sit down for Philadelphia, meaning that Mike Dunleavy is out there. Earlier this year, he scored 32 points in a game against Portland. So Twardzik is 13. He'll work in the backcourt with Gilliam. Neal, Jones, and Steele. Time remaining, left-hand corner of the screen. Heavy substituting by both coaches as Gilliam hits outside.
Now that's the man that can do it. He did it against Los Angeles in game 2.
Dunleavy, Dawkins, Erving, and Mix and Bibby. On the turnover, the Blazers with a chance to take the lead. 14 seconds to go. Here in the first quarter in the Spectrum, Game 1. Game 2, Thursday night, 9 p.m. Eastern Time on CBS. The Memorial Golf Tournament is next. Can Jack Nicklaus win on his own course? Steal by Erving. Does he have time? He's airborne at the buzzer. The doctor with his magic show.
And here he goes. Makes a nice anticipation there. Knocks the ball loose. It happens to go his way. Takes off from no man's land. Carries it up to the hoop. Dunks it in. 10 points for Julius Erving as the Philadelphia 76ers are leading by 2 at the end of the first quarter.
When you want to catch the whole show, Polaroid's SX70 Alpha 1 will give you pictures almost as fast as you can press the button.
That's the girl. Get with it.
Get it, Artie.
Do it! Come on, sweetheart.
The sharp, clear SX70 colors come up in minutes. Get the whole show with Polaroid's SX70 Alpha 1.
Honda's always been the leader in dependable four-stroke motorcycles. And way out here, that's important.
Going strong now.
For dependable, economical, four-stroke motorcycles, Honda's #1.
Moving right along.
Honda keeps you going strong, no matter where you're going.
Going strong now. Moving right along. When you're on a Honda, you're really going strong. Really going strong.
Basketball is a game that calls for skill, intelligence, and stamina. I'm Bill Bradley, and here at this United Way-supported girls' club, young women develop these same skills, keeping physically fit and mentally alert. This early training stays with them all their lives. Thanks to you, it works. For all of us, the United Way.
The preceding public service message has been brought to you in cooperation with the National Basketball Association. In that first quarter, Lionel Hollins did not score for Portland and picked up 3 fouls. Twardzik and Gilliam will open in the backcourt. Walton is back. So Dawkins and Walton matched for the first time. 2-point Philadelphia lead. Start quarter number 2. Larry Steele went baseline to Walton, who moved off beautifully to position himself. He saw Steele coming baseline, and he burned the inexperienced Dawkins that time.
Exactly right. Dawkins watched the ball, didn't particularly watch Walton wisely. He moved to an open spot, and Steele found it.
So intelligent, Bill Walton understands the subtleties of basketball. Mix, waits, kneel on him. Gilliam with a hand into the youngster. Dawkins comes up with a jump shot.
And the crowd here just loves it. Anytime he does something, they really respond to it.
Walton to the offensive position quickly. Waits for a cutter. Drives on Dawkins, who hand checks off to Neal. And they'll come the other way. Offense is the call. It's against Neal.
Take a look at Bill Walton. This last sequence here. You see Steele cut off. He doesn't see him. He makes his move to the hoop. He gets cut off by Dawkins. Gets double teamed by Mix, hits the open man, but Dunleavy had great position to pick up the offensive foul, as you'll see right here. Here's the pass to Neal going in. Dunleavy moves over, picks up the foul.
Dunleavy with a jump shot at the Philly end. Dunleavy out hustles Portland. Dunleavy, the smallest man, battling Steele, came back and hooked Steele.
Great hustle by Dunleavy. He got a little over-aggressive when he couldn't get that ball. I think he was frustrated because he thought he should have had it. You see the shot going up over Walton. Ball bounces back. He happens to be in the right position. Steele able to knock it away, and in his effort to go after the ball, he picks up the foul in the backcourt. 2-shot foul.
The leaderboard, and Jack Nicklaus on his own course in Dublin, Ohio, with a 1-stroke lead. We'll have a report at halftime. Jimmy the Greek at halftime. Can Seattle Slew win the Belmont? We'll hear from the Greek, who watched Seattle Slew make it 2 in a row yesterday. 1 leg to go. And Larry Steele with the free throw has tied it. 10:48 left, first half. Game 1 in the Spectrum. Game 2 Thursday night on CBS, 9 p.m. Eastern Time. Bibby puts it to the floor.
Great shot by Bibby. Bill Walton was waiting for him. He anticipated well and got it up over the outstretched arm.
What a series this is going to be, Rick. Steele with Erving down, and Dawkins comes off. Mismatch underneath. They collide against Walton. Now it's the doctor. Walton slides. Dawkins comes over. Left hand. Neal battling Mix off. Outlet. Gilliam with a hand on it. And they're saying that Bibby touched it, and he did. Bibby actually touched it before the ball went out. It'll go to Portland.
That play was made by Herm Gilliam with good anticipation. He saw the pass coming, was able to get a hand on it and deflect it off of Henry Bibby.
First quarter stats. One look at Philly shooting. They controlled the glass, though.
But they were ahead by 2, so that certainly is an advantage.
Steele outside. In and out. Dawkins yanks it off. Mix. Coming up, offensive foul against Steve Mix.
There's been an incredible number of offensive fouls called so far in this ball game. You take a look at this great rebound by Darryl Dawkins on the last shot by Larry Steele. He gets good position, screens Walton off, and he just goes up and vices it down. He just squeezes in that one hand of his.
Here come the men from the Northwest, and can they play this game together? Schwartzik, back from an injured ankle, has missed the last 5 games, all of which Portland won as Johnny Davis did a job. You can see the mismatch. They tried to go into Walton. Off his hand, they'll come the other way, and Dunleavy was battling Walton.
Yes, and Twardzik missed the opportunity. Walton had rolled to the hoop with Dunleavy behind him. He was wide open, but because he had a big man on him, he couldn't get the ball in. And then he tried to force it. It was a bad pass.
Here's Neal on Mix. Dawkins at the top of the circle to the doctor. Steele battling him. Using glass, Walton yanks it free. Off to Twardzik. McGinnis will check back in, and we'll have the isolated preview for you. Darryl Dawkins against Bill Walton. Walton's got the doctor up over the top. Walton drew the mismatch on that side and went up over the doctor to tie it. 9:08 first half. Basketball that anyone would pay to see. Foul is against Gilliam, and that's his second. Jack Ramsay, born in Philadelphia, coached at St. Joseph's, coach and general manager of the 76ers. Formerly the coach at Buffalo, now has brought Portland to the brink of a championship. He also is a Dr. J, I might point out. Hollins, and it was blocked off beautifully inside. Walton just swatted it down. Gilliam comes in, left alone in the middle, took advantage of it.
Bill Walton, of course, made that play. Super timing, blocked Doug Collins' shot, got it out, 3-on-2 break, layup.
George McGinnis is back, inside on Neal. Goes up on Walton. And he drew the foul from Walton coming across, and Bill is unhappy.
He's very unhappy. He has a reason to be. It looked like George McGinnis used his left arm to knock Bill off on that play, and he feels it should have been an offensive foul. That's why he's arguing. So let's take a look at it now. Here we see the play coming down. McGinnis goes to the hoop. Watch his left arm right here. Moves his left arm, hits Walton, and made the contact, and that's why he's arguing.
Changing to Cam 2 motor oil's like falling in love.
A running and a racing to make it the best. Cam 2. Stock cars, Indy cars, and all the rest. Cam 2. Change your own to Cam 2 alone. It's tough. You'll love it. Cam 2.
Hey, if Roger Penske is willing to risk a $100,000 car in a $1 million race on Cam 2, I'm with him.
Cam 2. You know it's tough, and you love it.
You're about to see a demonstration of an incredible product the 3M company has come up with. That's right, those are bikes, and you can clearly tell they're bikes, even 300 feet away from these headlights. All because 3M had the idea of using reflective material, like they developed for traffic signs, on bike tires, to make riding at night a lot safer. Now, doesn't that make sense? The 3M company.
Introducing the new Remington XLR, the electric shaver that shaved as close as a blade. And to prove it, we're doing something spectacular. We're giving away a blade to compare it with. We guarantee the Remington XLR will shave you as close as a blade or your money back. Now that's really spectacular. The Remington XLR shaves as close as a blade or your money back.
Can Bjorn Borg, one of the best tennis players in the world, beat champions of squash, badminton, racquetball, and table tennis? Watch the World Rackets Championship next Sunday at 2:30 p.m. Eastern.
What do you think, Rick? Farrah Fawcett look-alike contest winner?
Every time you turn around, you see her these days.
It's all in the hair, they tell me. 8:35 to go in the first half. There's the leading scores, but Gross has cooled off, Rick.
Well, there's a good reason for that, Brent. He hasn't been in the game. He just came back in. He got a rest because he's been working hard offensively and defensively. Jack Ramsay knows that he could be a big factor, and he's given him that rest. So now he's back in to try and take advantage of the doctor, perhaps pick up that third foul on him.
Lucas, Walton, and Gross, Hollins, and Davis. So the 5 starters are back.
One important statistic here is that Portland has scored 8 points off of 6 break opportunities. The 76ers have only had 2 break opportunities and have only scored 2 points. The offensive rebounds have been helping them.
And here come the men in red with their starting 5 on the floor. Walton waits for Gross and right away off the bench.
That's what we talk about. That's what they do so well.
Time after time, Portland worked that play against L.A. Bibby is left alone. Wouldn't stay down. Dawkins going up on Walton and a foul by Darrell.
Let's watch the last play here. Let's see if we can see how Bobby Gross gets open. Walton with the ball. Now inside. There goes Gross. He's cutting off in the top right part of your screen. And here he comes. Mix is on him. Mix just loses him and turns away and lost his man.
This time he went with him, Rick. They came from the other side. Lucas, and he gets it back. Got the good bounce and made it count.
Well,
37-33.
Sometimes it's better to be lucky than good. They got a break on that one.
McGinnis checks the board. 7:43 left first half. McGinnis outside, and Lucas giving him that shot.
That's what the Sixers can't do.
Here is Davis. Nix came from behind the block. Hollins back. Hollins off now. Dawkins.
That's the gorilla stuff, as they call it here in Philadelphia, by the baby gorilla. And when he goes up, you just get out of the way. Here we go. Great play by Mix. Knocks the ball away. Sixers back up the floor quickly. Pass off by Collins. Great pass. And here goes the gorilla.
McGinnis was down. And it went off of Walton. But it was touched last by Philadelphia as he was battling for that ball. So it goes to Portland. Lucas.
Maurice Lucas really getting an outside shot working for him here in the playoffs, shooting far better than he did during the regular season.
Next, the doctor will check back in.
One of the few outside jumpers that the Sixers have hit so far in the first half.
Walton signals the play.
Doug Collins has not been involved in this game much for the Sixers, Brent.
Walton on the turnaround. Taken down by Gross, who passed it off inside and then came back and went up over the top.
Gross made a bad decision that time, Brent. He picks up a foul on that play. He got the ball back in the middle, and he really had a chance to shoot it. He elected to pass the ball off to a little man inside with the big guys, and he really couldn't get a good shot off.
2 fouls on Gross, who has scored 12 points already in this game. He is high. For Erving, he has 10, and he'll be coming back.
The Z28 is back. Chevy Camaro Z28, with the kind of suspension you'd expect to find only under a legend. The Z28 is back. Chevy. Camaro Z28. All the performance of a 4-barrel 350 V8, a heavy-duty 4-speed manual transmission, and a performance rear axle ratio. The Camaro Z28 is back from Chevrolet.
Hey, Marvin. Marvin.
Chris.
Good to see you. Hello. Hey, I've got an idea. I'll buy the beer, any brand you want, as long as it comes in a bottle. Hey, let's go. My hook shot. When you order your favorite brand of beer, make sure you buy it in a bottle, because glass delivers the full natural taste you're looking for, cold and refreshing. All right. Get the good taste of beer. It comes in a bottle.
And in a move of staggering significance, Bank Americard is changing its name to Visa. Visa. Soon the most widely recognized card in the world will open doors for you at 2 million merchants. Visa will be welcome in the U.S. and 110 countries around the world. And remember, till your Visa comes, your Bank AmeriCard is still good. Visa.
Visa, we're keeping up with you.
Ben-Hur. Charlton Heston stars in the motion picture that captures the majesty of ancient Rome and the barbaric spectacle of a time that saw the crucifixion of Christ. A spectacular film on an epic scale. Winner of 11 Academy Awards. Ben-Hur. This week's Sunday night movie at 8, 7 Central.
They are standing throughout the spectrum. It is a sellout, and by far, this is the noisiest crowd I've heard in Philadelphia all year, which means that basketball fans here realize that the Portland Trailblazers are for real.
It'll be interesting to see if the Sixers get Doug Collins back into their offense. He's one of the great shooters in the league from outside, and he has not been shooting the ball out there. They're going to Dawkins on this play. At least Gene Shute called it.
McGinnis goes to Collins, who takes it outside, and he's back in the offense in a hurry.
Doug must have heard me.
Tied at 39 with 6:10 to go in the first half. Lucas, McGinnis on him, the two big power forwards. Walton wants it. Dawkins half fronting him. Over on the left side, shot clock a factor. Gross must hurry. Davis, it's going to expire. A 24-second violation, and the crowd prevented Jack Ramsay from getting the message down to his offense. The offense is setting up away from Ramsay's bench. We will isolate Collins and see if we can bring back an isolated replay. Foul call.
It'll be a front court foul. Gene Shute running up the sideline here, trying to get him to say it was a backcourt violation. And that is team foul number 4, excuse me, for Portland. Next one will be the bonus.
2 on Davis, who has assessed that foul. McGinnis underneath the Collins. 2 quick hoops, Rick. He's back in their offense.
Boy, does he work great. He works so great without the ball. That was a set-up play and a good pass by McGinnis. And we'll look at that one in a little bit when we get a chance.
Lucas maneuvering McGinnis, knocked it away. Hollins retrieves. Hollins jump shot. Tied again at 41.
Here's the ISO we promised. Now watch Doug Collins move without the ball. He makes a great move. Now he reverses, loses his man. A super pass. Great play.
With control again from the corner. 3 in a row. Hitting better than 60% in Philadelphia's first 13 playoff games. 11 points here today. McGinnis popped out on Maurice Lucas and fouled him. And that is 3 fouls on McGinnis.
And Steve Mix is into the game quickly. And it may be a good thing, too, that he's coming out, because McGinnis and Lucas were having words, and they were really going at it.
Mix tries Lucas. And Mix, for pushing against Lucas, is called by Earl Strong.
Both teams will now be in the bonus on the next violation.
Gross wheels right to Davis. Collins on the steal. Lead to Mix. Gross can cut him off. Mix comes to the hoop, and Gross was there, and he fouled him, said Bannock. That is 3 fouls on Bobby Gross.
Here's the play again. Good outlet pass by Doug Collins to Steve Mix. You can see he's not running at his best speed. He goes up for the shot. Gross goes up. Made a pretty good block, but he had a little contact down low. John Bannock on the play.
Herm Gilliam re-enters the game for Ramsay. Davis goes out. 4:42 left in the first half. Jimmy the Greek on Seattle Slew and George Allen's contract at halftime.
That's 12 for 12 from the foul line for the Sixers. This is number 13 possible coming up, and Portland's only 5 for 6.
A 4-point Mix lead, and we'll watch Mix and Lucas duel isolated. With control. There's that jump. Full turnaround that time, more than a hook shot by Bill. And again, Shue is up complaining about delay of game as the ball was rolled out of bounds.
to see Lucas on this last play. He's going to go off the split. Makes a good cut to the basket and was in good position for the offensive boards had the shot not go in.
Lucas and Mix exchange words under them. Jack Ramsay out, Strong pushing Lucas off. Dawkins now steps in front of Mix. Lucas and Dawkins, Strong in between them. It was actually Mix and Lucas who went at it first, and then Dawkins intervened.
Maurice was going at it heavy with George McGinnis, and Steve Mix picked up right where George left off. A lot of contact been going on out there, and Lucas has got to keep his cool right here. He can't afford to lose and get thrown out of this game. He's too important for the Portland Trailblazers.
Now Strong telling both Ramsay and Shue to stay on the bench, that he will take care of the trouble. We will continue to isolate that war among the strong forwards. Lucas on Mix right now. Sometimes it will be McGinnis. 4:17 left first half. Sixers up by a field goal. Into Collins. Did you see Walton hold up? It would have been goaltending. He could have pinned the ball easily. Lucas wants it. Lucas forces one off short. So it is frustration time. The Sixers come down, and it's Bibby. Hollins harassing him. Off to Doug Collins, who's been flying all over. Gross with a handball out of bounds. Goes to the Sixers.
Jack Ramsay wisely is calling timeout. The Portland team is running a little wild out here right now. He wants to get him to sit down, cool off a little bit, explain to him what he'd like to have him do. Get back into your game plan. Work the play. Know what you're doing out there. Don't run wild.
For my money, a lawnmower has to work year-round, like my Toro Grassmaster. I use the rear bag to pick up clippings in the spring. In the summer, I remove the bag, and the Grassmaster lets me mulch. In the fall, it even picks up leaves. And it does all this season after season after season.
Haven't you done without a Toro long enough?
Dawn Launch, Sea of Japan. The Navy. See a recruiter or call toll-free. It's not just a job, it's an adventure.
You're about to see something remarkable. Inkjet printing from IBM. A word processing breakthrough. In slow motion, see how ink is guided electronically to form letters of typewritten quality at speeds no typewriter can touch. Type, margins, and spacing are changed automatically. Envelopes and paper are fed automatically. Inkjet printing, part of IBM Office System 6. Fantastic.
An Academy Award-winning movie special. Barbara Streisand stars with Walter Matthau as the matchless matchmaker in everyone's life.
Climb in. I'm feeling an updraft in my underpants.
I have no intention of asking you to marry me.
Well, I'm sorry, Horace. I'm turning you down.
Hello, Dolly. Monday at 8, 7 Central.
A standing ovation for the 76ers here in Philadelphia. How these fans sat on their hands last Sunday against Houston, but not today against Portland. And it has been a war here early in Game 1. Game 2 coming your way Thursday night on CBS, 9 p.m. Eastern Time. Gilliam now chasing Collins. Collins comes in on him, and offensive foul is the call against Doug Collins.
Herb Gilliam played good defense that time. Doug Collins wasn't too happy with the call. This play right now, as Jack Ramsay called in the huddle, we were able to hear, it should be for Lionel Hollins.
Gross waits, and here's Lucas. Gilliam, Hollins, and off. He takes the screen from Gross and hits it.
The play actually was when he came under the basket. He was covered, but Gross got the ball to him anyway.
Julius with a bad pass. Here come the Blazers, and he turned the ball over. So a succession of turnovers with 3:13 to go in the first half. There is one player we have not mentioned enough here in the first half, Henry Bibby. Jack Ramsay's guards have not been as effective here early offensively as they were against Jerry West and the Los Angeles Lakers. Henry Bibby with 8 points already. Doug Collins alive. Love to the doctor.
There's the old sucker play. Gross overplaying Erving. They cleared out the side. Got the great pass to Julius for the dump.
Lucas waits, Gross cuts. What a cutter Bobby Gross is. He moves without the ball as well as Collins almost wrecked.
Here's a great pass now by Collins to the doctor. 2 points, but
Collins back.
Really lighting it up now, Brent.
So confident. 51-47. 4 points.
15 points now for Collins.
Lucas cuts the lead in half. He's a fine outside shooter. He has been maturing down the stretch for the Blazers. 10 points now for Lucas. Hollins forced out by Walton. Comes up on him. Off as Bill was out with a hand in his face. Not a good shot that time. Hollins back at the other end. Off to Walton. Wouldn't stay down. Being battled by Dawkins. Lucas had it come to him and he uses glass again and we're tied.
That's twice now that Maurice Lucas has picked up loose balls and just bounced back to him and made the baskets.
14 for Gross, 12 for Lucas, 11 for Walton. It's the men up front who are doing it for Jack Ramsay offensively. 1:48 left, first half.
Oh, look at this hole!
And you can hear Erving protesting as he was coming underneath.
Maurice Lucas called for holding the doctor. They're trying to run the same sucker play.
2 fouls on Lucas. A reminder of what's ahead. And then, of course, after this game 1 of the NBA World Championship Series, we'll go to Dublin, Ohio for the Memorial Final Round. We'll get an update at halftime. See how Jack Nicklaus is doing on the course that Jack built. Erving at the line. Breaks the tie with 1:44 to go.
Still perfect from the foul line, and it's been a big factor right now. They've outscored Portland, I believe, by 9 points on the free throw line already. 16 to 16, I think that is, or 15 to 15 right now for Sixers.
Hollins with Gilliam. Caldwell Jones on Walton. Intercepted by Mix. Blazer turnover. Mix in a foot race. Went back toward Jones. Has turned it over. Very good defense that time by the Blazers. And they come back to the other end with a bit of a sloppy pass of their own. Off now to Erving on the turnaround on Gross. Whistle, offensive.
That was not a good call, Brent, because Bobby Gross fell down before Julius ever made any contact with him, but Earl Strom, with his angle, could not see that. He had to look through Julius, and all he saw was Bobby Gross falling down, and you see the doctor arguing about it. That's 3 fouls now on the doctor. There's the play. There's the doctor coming. Now watch Gross. He starts to fall down. The doctor hasn't even touched him yet. Great play by Gross to pick up the foul. He did a good acting job.
Jack Ramsay sends Lucas back. Calls a play. Bill Walton had walked back toward the Blazer bench. Took a quick break. Coming back. Gilliam, Hollins, Walton, Lucas, and Gross. Joe Bryant, 23, makes his first appearance in this game. He will draw Gross. Off Walton on the turnover. Here comes Collins. Gilliam races back. Collins comes up and Lucas swats it away. Collins retrieves. Here's Joe Bryant on the floor and hits his first hoop in second. Up by 4 go the Sixers. Inside of a minute here. First half. Gross off. Tipped by Jones. Bibby with the ball on the floor across the timeline. Bibby to Joe Bryant. Bryant's second shot off that time. Loose ball. Collins.
Those offensive boards are really hurting Portland right now.
Inside of 40 seconds left in the first half of game 1. Bibby left side. In and out. Walton outlet. Got Gilliam ahead of him. Overreach and Gilliam can't run it down.
Very rarely you see Bill Walton make that bad a pass on a breakaway situation. Gilliam would have had an easy layup. Bill just threw it a little bit too hard.
15 turnovers in the first half for the Trailblazers and only 9 for the Sixers. The Blazers have yet to settle down. It could be the long layoff. It could be their first championship series experience.
I think it's a combination of both, Brent.
Bibby with his back now on Gilliam. Bibby comes around, screened by Jones. He drove Gilliam to the floor. Off Jones on the turnover. 8 seconds. Blazers come down with the ball and they're could have been a foul call that time. I'll tell you, he took him like an offensive tackle, and he just drove him into that secondary.
Yeah, he moved on the screen to begin with, and then he just ran right over him. Jack Ramsay was really hot.
Hollins right side against the clock. Hollins short. Whistle was blown. Hollins and Mix exchange words.
Only 1 second to go here in the second quarter. That's a bad foul by Steve Mix at this particular juncture.
Jones 3 fouls enters with a second to go and 3 fouls on Mix.
Well, Lionel Hollins with a chance now to narrow the gap down to 2 points at the half, and it's still going to be anybody's ball game. We're going to have a great second half.
3 fouls on Gross, 3 on Hollins, 3 on Erving, 3 on McGinnis, 3 on Mix. Hollins at the line. The Blazers down by 3 on that free throw. 55-52. Two-point game, 1 second. Bryant will throw it up at the buzzer. The first half is over. It is all we expected and more. The second half will come up and the war will continue. Jimmy the Greek coming your way at halftime, along with slam dunk and highlights in the first half.
You know, it looked like a light day, with nothing to deliver but posters for the AC Spark Plug Buy 7 Get 1 Free sale. What could be easier, right? Wrong. Do you know how many places sell AC Spark Plugs? And everyone with a poster like this is selling 8 AC Spark Plugs for the price of 7, as long as supplies last.
Sure, getting a free AC Spark Plug is a great idea.
Timeline. Bibby to Joe Bryant. Bryant's second shot off that time. Loose ball. Hollins.
Those offensive boards are really hurting Portland right now.
Inside of 40 seconds left in the first half of game 1. Bibby left side. In and out. Walton outlet. Got Gilliam ahead of him. Overreach, and Gilliam can't run it down.
Very rarely you see Bill Walton make that bad a pass on a breakaway situation. Gilliam would have had an easy layup. Bill just threw it a little bit too hard.
15 turnovers in the first half for the Trailblazers and only 9 for the Sixers. The Blazers have yet to settle down. It could be the long layoff. It could be their first championship series experience.
I think it's a combination of both, Brent.
Bibby with his back now on Gilliam. Bibby comes around, screened by Jones. He drove Gilliam to the floor. Off Jones on the turnover. 8 seconds. Blazers come down with the ball, and there could have been a foul call that time. I'll tell you, he took him like an offensive tackle, and he just drove him into that secondary.
Yeah, he moved on the screen to begin with, and then he just ran right over him. Jack Ramsay was really hot.
Hollins right side against the clock. Hollins short. Whistle was blown. Hollins and Mix exchange words.
Only 1 second to go here in the second quarter. That's a bad foul by Steve Mix at this particular juncture.
Jones 3 fouls enters with a second to go and 3 fouls on Mix.
Well, Lionel Hollins with a chance now to narrow the gap down to 2 points at the half, and it's still going to be anybody's ball game. We're going to have a great second half.
3 fouls on Gross, 3 on Hollins, 3 on Erving, 3 on McGinnis, 3 on Mix. Hollins at the line. The Blazers down by 3 on that free throw. 55-52. Two-point game, 1 second. Bryant will throw it up at the buzzer. The first half is over. It is all we expected and more. The second half will come up and the war will continue. Jimmy the Greek coming your way at halftime, along with slam dunk and highlights in the first half.
You know, it looked like a light day, with nothing to deliver but posters for the AC Spark Plug Buy 7 Get 1 Free sale. What could be easier, right? Wrong. Do you know how many places sell AC Spark Plugs? And everyone with a poster like this is selling 8 AC spark plugs for the price of 7, as long as supplies last.
Sure, getting a free AC spark plug is a great idea. But you better move fast.
Bernie's been leaving the house with a smile ever since he started getting stroked in the morning.
I've never been stroked quite like this before.
The new Bic shaver is so responsive, it turns shaving into stroking. That's because it's so light and maneuverable. What's more, the Bic shaver is cheaper than blades. It's a stroke of genius.
Looking good, Bernie. Well, I really got stroked this morning.
The new Bic shaver. Lots of great shaves, then on to the next. It's the stroke of genius.
This is a 1932 Chevrolet Cabriolet, built when every car was unique in character. A person cherished his car, perhaps because he felt it reflected his own special qualities. I feel that way about my 1977 Monte Carlo. Today, it's harder to find an original, but it still makes sense to look for the real thing. Chevrolet Monte Carlo. There's no other car quite like it. I like that.
This is the CBS Slam Dunk Competition. Today, two former UCLA All-Americans are matched up in Slam Dunk competition. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, the preeminent player in the NBA from the Los Angeles Lakers. And up against him is Richard Washington, a first-year player from the Kansas City Kings. Like Jabbar, a former UCLA All-American. Hi, I'm Don Crickey, and this is the CBS Slam Dunk Competition. The best slam dunkers in all of basketball are competing for upwards of $50,000 in prize money, with the ultimate payoff to the winner, a check for $15,000. Here's how it works. It is a man-against-man elimination contest. Each athlete gets 5 slam dunk attempts. For each one that's good, he gets 2 points. The biggest scoring area is style. We have a 3-man panel of judges, and the maximum score from each judge for style would be a 10. The best score any player could get would be a total of 40. If they should tie after they each take their 5 slam dunk attempts, we go to a 1 slam dunk sudden death playoff. Now let's meet our panel of judges. On the right is Mendy Rudolph, CBS basketball analyst, former NBA official. Next to Mendy, one of the great backcourt players from the Boston Celtics, Sam Jones, 6 times a member of the World Championship team at Boston. And nationally known basketball writer Larry Bortstein, our 3rd judge. And now, Richard Washington leads off the competition. The 1975 NCAA Championship Tournament Player of the Year. Richard Washington signed as the #1 draft choice of Kansas City after his junior year at UCLA, passed up his senior year. At 6'11", 230 pounds, he can run with the guards. And as you can see, Richard Washington get way up in the air. They say he's going to be an all-pro and an all-star quality player for years to come. Got better every game, but the Kansas City Kings does not get that one to go on the turnaround. Richard Washington makes very sure of his center line jump shot coming from off the foul line to bang it down. So Richard Washington hits 4 of 5 shots. 8 points on shooting as we await the style point breakdown. You watch Richard Washington with that great agility despite his enormous size. 24 points on style, 8 points on shooting. Richard Washington with a total of 32 points. And now, a man who preceded Richard Washington on national championship teams at UCLA, the great Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. In the midst of one of his greatest seasons ever, #3 in scoring in the NBA, #2 in rebounding, #1 in field goal percentage, has blocked more shots than any player in the league, and recently selected the NBA Player of the Year for the 5th time in his 8 seasons. His 4th attempt, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar spins it off and knocks it down, so he has already equaled the shooting total of Richard Washington. And Kareem Abdul-Jabbar gets all 5 of his slam dunk attempts. So now, as we watch Kareem Abdul-Jabbar come down the middle in slow motion and soar up into the air, vaulting up over the rim, the style point breakdown after this double clutch and a pump fake slam down is an 8-5, an 8-5, and an 8-5. And it's going to be Kareem Abdul-Jabbar advancing with a total of 35.5. And here is Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, who just advanced, beating fellow UCLA alum Richard Washington. It's tough to knock one of those UCLA Bruins out, but that was a good round.
Yeah, I think I got a break when Richard missed one. It's kind of tough to improvise on dunk shots. They're just basically all the same.
Well, congratulations, Kareem. We'll see you in the rounds to come.
Okay, thank you.
Kareem Abdul-Jabbar advancing.
Can Seattle Slew win the Belmont and capture a Triple Crown? We'll find out from the man who says he knows, Jimmy the Greek, next as the NBA on CBS continues after this word from your local station.
Barbara Streisand, Walter Matthau, and Louis Armstrong together in Hello, Dolly, tomorrow night at 8, 7 Central on CBS.
In my country, when Tristan is set to be sung at 8, it's sung at 8. We Germans are quite particular about time. I am the Red Baron of Lufthansa. My German airline is quite particular about being on time. To be late, I believe, is bad manners and bad business. You see, I never forget. Someone is waiting for you.
Americans are on the move, going everywhere, and Michelin's the tire that's gonna take them there. Michelin first, for all the tire your money can buy.
You can afford to join the move to Michelin radials, too. They cost less than you think. Prove it to yourself when you see Bib, the Michelin Man, and think Michelin first.
For all the tire your money can buy.
Kate Jackson, Monday.
You should have seen the grin on the Greek's face yesterday when he arrived in Philadelphia after telling me there would be Seattle Slew again in the Preakness. Now Jimmy the Belmont. Can this colt win the Triple Crown?
Oh, he's a prohibitive favorite to do so. This is a great horse. I mean, a great one, too.
I want to take one more look at his stretch run yesterday. You were at Pimlico. Compare for me Seattle Slew with Secretariat.
I'll tell you, personally, I think that Seattle Slew and Secretariat would ever meet or would have ever met. It would have been a nose finish at the wire.
What about the rider Jean Cruget? He has been criticized by some, Jimmy.
It's quite ridiculous to criticize a jockey who has had 8 starts with a horse and won all 8 of them. I thought he rode a beautiful race. He kept him right off of Cormorant, clear until the head of the stretch, then hit him one time, and then hand rode him from the 16th of the pole in.
Any newcomers who were not at the Preakness coming on in the Belmont to challenge?
Oh, definitely. Sanhedrin, Galbraith's horse, is definitely waiting for him there, and it's the type of racetrack that Sanhedrin needs. Iron Constitution, of course, will run again, and there's a filly by Calumet, Our Mims, that can be dangerous.
A reminder, June 11th, the 4 p.m. start. Jimmy the Greek will be at Belmont, the Triple Crown race coming your way on CBS. Want to change the subject, professional football. What about some of the players I hear that might be traded, some of the big linemen?
Well, they talk about Culp, Ernie Holmes, Mendenhall of the Giants. They're on the trading block.
So Houston might finally get rid of Curly Culp. Ernie Holmes with the Pittsburgh Steelers. Art Rooney has done so much for him through the years.
He sure has.
Now, what about George Allen and his contract with the Washington Redskins? I don't believe he has signed or renegotiated yet.
Well, the Washington press, our good friends, all say that he's definitely in. But we have found out from the West Coast that he isn't. And the only persons who haven't made a decision as yet, of course, is Mrs. Allen and Mr. Hookstratton, of course, who handles him, who also handles our girl Phyllis, whom we all love, by the way. But the contract between Allen and the Washington Redskins is quite a distance apart.
All right, Jimmy. Have a nice week, and I'll see you later. And here in Philadelphia, before a sellout crowd, we're at halftime. 76ers lead the Blazers, 55-53. Doug Collins tossed in 15.
Hi, ever need to rent a car fast? Watch. Hertz, #1 club number 21586, arriving in San Diego at 2 p.m. on RAL Flight 9. Returning it there tomorrow. Okay, thanks. That's all there is to it. When you're in the #1 club, nobody makes renting a car faster or easier than the Superstar. Even before you get there, your car is pre-assigned, your forms filled out. So rent a Ford fast from Hertz, the Superstar in rent-a-car.
There's this big argument going on about light beer from Miller.
Right.
Bill. Some guys argue the best thing about it that it's less filling. That's true. It has a third less calories than their regular beer. Other guys say the best thing about it is its great taste.
Here, here.
I feel very strongly both ways. After all, I'm not the kind of a guy who ever gets into an argument.
Light beer from Miller. Everything you always wanted in a beer, and less.
Thanks, Al. You bet. You know, this badge says a lot about the expert service you get at GM dealers. Ken over there just took a refresher course on GM brake repair. And Bill's machine is built especially to service GM cars. Both Ken and Bill use genuine GM parts. Look, if you own a GM car and want good service and the right parts, take it to your GM dealer. Ask for Mr. Goodwrench. That's us.
I'm John Havlicek, and I'm 6 feet 5 inches.
You're trying to reach the rim, okay?
Jonathan Hadley is 4 feet 2 inches, but we're both part of the new NBA Special Olympics basketball program for mentally retarded youngsters. I'm a coach, and Jonathan's learning very fast. Right, Jonathan?
All right.
For information on playing or coaching, please write Special Olympics, Washington, D.C.
The preceding public service message has been brought to you in cooperation with the National Basketball Association. The NBA World Championship Series is sponsored by Improved Palmolive Rapid Shave, a product of the Colgate Palmolive Company, and by the totally new Chevrolet. Now that's more like it.
Golf tournament. So let's go to Ben Scully now. Ben?
Blustery wind, a threat of rain, thunder in the background has added even more pressure on a most difficult golf course, and the one man who is holding well under it all is the designer and host pro of the course, Jack Nicklaus. Nicklaus, who had an electrifying birdie out of a bunker yesterday to get within one of Bobby Watkins, as you see, has gone by him like an express train to take a 3-stroke lead. Jack opened up with a birdie on 2. He has just birdied 6, and he is 8 under. Meanwhile, Bobby Watkins bogeyed the first and bogeyed the third, so he has fallen 3 back. Gary Player and Mark Lie back at 2. Here is Ray Floyd looking across the water at 12. A difficult pin placement, and of course the wind has raised havoc with these short shots to the green, if you can hold it all. The story is not written completely, but there is another small footnote and paragraph. Ray Floyd in desperate trouble at 12. To repeat, the only man who has kept his head above water is the man who designed the course, and apparently he's even above the weather, rain clouds, wind, and all. Jack Nicklaus leading young Bobby Watkins by 3. Now back to Brent Musburger and NBA basketball.
Thank you, Ben. Rick Berry, how about some highlights from the first half?
Well, they started right off the bat. That jump ball went up in the air. It was controlled by Jones. As you'll see here, he and Walton going up high for the ball. McGinnis gets it, makes a great lead pass to Erving, who goes in for one of his patented dunk shots. And from this point on, both teams have played dead even, with the Sixers having a 2-point lead. Here we see another play with Henry Bibby coming up the court. Pitches over to Erving. Erving makes a real nice pass, seeing Collins come in, and he'll make a super reverse layup, catching the defense up in the air. And Doug Collins does that oh so well. Next play, we have a Portland break going to be coming up here. Here's the ball coming out. Bill Walton gets it, makes the great outlet pass to Hollins, quickly gets up the floor, and he leads this Portland team so beautifully on break situations. To Davis, in for the layup. Another Portland break coming up here. This time, it's going to be Maurice Lucas with the rebound, the other big rebounder for Portland. He gets the ball out to Hollins. Hollins now looks to his left, makes a great pass to Gross, open on the right wing, off the board. 2 points for Gross, who had a super half, both offensively and defensively. Here we see Bill Walton cut to the basket by Gross. Mix gets lost. Gross for the layup, something Portland does oh so well also. Here we see coming down the floor right now, a great play by Mix. He gets the ball on the block. Collins up the floor quickly, makes the super pass to the baby Gorilla, who Gorilla dunks it in. And that fella can really get up.
Statistics in the first half, 42 and 53. That's how they shot, with Portland out shooting Philadelphia. And now go down to the turnovers down there. 15-10. And Philadelphia has converted 15 of those turnovers into 12 points. And on the other hand, only 2 points have been scored off the Philly turnovers as you look at the individual scoring.
As we see the scoring with Collins and Erving leading the Sixers and the rest of the people down the list there. A very important factor here are the free throws. 15 for 15, perfect from the line for the Sixers. Only 7 for 8 for Portland, so they're out field goaling the Philadelphia team, but they've been outscored by 8 points as we see the scoring now for Portland with Gross, Lucas, and Walton all in double figures. So those free throws are a big factor, and a coach really hates to go out on the road, play a ball game, have his team out field goal the opposition, and be losing at the foul line. I'm sure Jack Ramsay's upset about that.
And the bench scoring, Philadelphia, even without Lloyd Free, 2 points up on Portland. George McGinnis played but 14 minutes there in the first half and was 2 of 7. Mix got in 12 minutes as his substitute. And the foul situation could become a big factor in this game down the stretch.
It certainly could, because both teams very aggressive. Both teams want this game badly, and they really are hammering out there.
I want to mention Bill Walton's haircut. No longer can I refer to him as a mountain man. Look at how trimmed he is. But will he become like Samson? Well, I doubt it. He's too good for that.
Well, he hasn't done it in the first half. I doubt if he'll do that in the second half.
I didn't recognize him when I saw him in the hallway this morning with that haircut.
He jumps about a half-inch higher now. One advantage for Philadelphia, Brent, is that they had a very poor game shooting, very poor first half, that is, shooting from the outside. And they're going to have to try to get inside a little bit more, and it really is a plus for them because the outside shooting was not going, but yet they still have been able to keep a 2-point lead.
Here come the Blazers. We start the third quarter. Davis and Hollins, and the rebound leader is Bill Walton, and Erving on the steal. On the turnover, he'll go airborne. He started the first half with a quick hoop off the opening tip. 16 points now for the Doctor. 4-point lead. Hollins.
Here's the Doctor using this great anticipation right here. Here's the pass. He saw it coming. Ball just bounced out just where he needed it. It's amazing. The 2 Portland men just stopped because once he gets going like that, there's nothing you can do to stop him.
How happy Ramsay was to see Hollins get that hoop. Needs some firepower from his back line. His front line did a marvelous job. Erving glides in on a vacated left side.
Gross is playing him good, gave him the left side, but once he goes, you've got to cut that side off.
4-point 76er lead. Caldwell Jones on Walton, who put it down and made a good move.
Nice soft touch by Bill Walton.
Back comes Henry Bibby, applying offensive pressure. The sweat-soaked jerseys of the Philadelphia 76ers and the Portland Trailblazers. They know only one speed, full bore, both teams. Erving.
Oh, the Doctor is really doing it again now in the start of the second half. Here he goes at the top of the key. He's able to get that right side. Walton tries to come up, but he just goes over him.
61-57. Gross puts it down, glides right.
Bobby Gross said, listen, you did it to me. Here's one right back at you, Doc.
Hollins back with Lloyd Neal out there on him. McGinnis busts through. Collins on the follow.
Doug Collins, so many times in the right place at the right time.
Rick, I'm surprised not to see Maurice Lucas out here. Neal handles the ball. Here is Walton. I want somebody to check. Walton comes up, goes off the side. Basket, he'll come to the line.
Basket is good. Basket is good by Bill Walton. He's really capitalizing on Jones here. You see him make a good fake, like he's going to put it down, reverses, gives the pump, gets him up in the air, draws the foul, makes the basket. So Bill Walton really capitalizing here on Caldwell Jones.
16 points for Walton. 3 fouls for Jones. Dawkins, no doubt, will be out there in a hurry. Hollins watching Dougie Collins. They go to McGinnis. They're giving McGinnis the outside.
You see it's a great shot right here. Here's that high pass again.
That's 4 baskets and 22 points total, and Ramsay says, let's talk about trying to stop the Doctor right now. They'll bring him over to the bench.
Here's the play again right now. Doug Collins makes the high lob. Julius Erving with great time. He goes up and puts it in the basket, and it's a super play by both people.
You know, I think
think I liked you better as a frog? As a frog, you had a much smoother face. Say, Prince, didn't you ever hear Palmolive Rapid Shave? While you were away, they improved it. Palmolive Rapid Shave is thicker and lusher than ever. Feels good while you shave. Feels good after.
Improved Palmolive Rapid Shave. Feels good while you shave.
Feels good after. What do you say now, Prince?
Ribbit.
Ribbit?
Hi. I don't drive that way out on the streets, and please don't you either. You know the old gray ghost here? Well, inside she runs like a top. That's why the folks at STP hired me, because they know I take good care of my own cars, including my new family wagon here, and I use STP oil treatment in all of them. They want me to tell you why? I'll tell you why. On account of it works. And that's the name of that tune.
Tennis pro Rod Laver is wearing ordinary sunglass lenses, but his opponent, Stan Smith, is wearing sun-sensor lenses. As it gets darker, Laver has to strain through his ordinary lenses to see Smith. But Smith's sun sensors have lightened automatically, so he can still see Laver clearly. There's no sunglass strain, much to Smith's advantage.
That's match, Rod.
Now let's play it again, Stan.
Also available in prescription lenses.
Thursday at 9 p.m. Eastern, CBS Sports will present the second game of the NBA Championship with Portland taking on Philadelphia, followed by the third game on Sunday tipping off at 3:30 p.m. That's Thursday at 9 p.m., Sunday at 3:30 p.m. for the NBA Championship.
I've been told by Portland that Maurice Lucas is on the bench because of a stomach problem here early in the third quarter. 65-62, and they'll miss the big guy if he can't get back in this practice. Gross went back to Neal, and the foul is called against McGinnis, his fourth.
George McGinnis probably going to the bench, and Steve Mix coming in very quickly here. Picks up his fourth foul early in the second half.
Jones hand-checking Walton, who faces the hoop and comes up with a jumper.
Bill really looking to be offensive-minded against Caldwell Jones. He really feels that he could capitalize on his defensive deficiencies.
18 for Walton. Jimmy forced out by Walton. McGinnis left alone. And hit it in. Jones with an offensive rebound and a miss. McGinnis back in on Gross. And loose ball foul.
George McGinnis, Grant, that is 5 fouls. They didn't get Steve Mix in quick enough, and I was wondering why Gene Shue did not have Steve in the game immediately. By delaying that, George McGinnis will go to the bench with 5 fouls, and you can see that he is really upset.
And they telling Shue to sit down. McGinnis can't believe it. Until I see otherwise, I'm a little surprised about this call myself. Blazers come back. Neal to Walton. Off Gross's hands. It'll go to the Sixers.
Bobby Gross was wide open. He just didn't handle the ball. Here's the play here. McGinnis is in the center of your picture right now. The ball goes up. He tries to run through. He jumps right there for the ball. He never touched him. He had a reason to complain.
I thought there was daylight there. Bibby. Jones with a screen. Walton gives the Sixers but one shot. Hollins in the middle under control. Off to Gross. Back to Hollins. They'll come the other way on the foul against Gross.
That is his fourth. It's amazing how many offensive fouls. I mentioned that in the first half, Brent, and they're continuing to call those plays now. 4 fouls for Gross.
Mix, Erving, Jones, Bibby, Collins. Against Davis, Neal, Hollins, Gross, Walton. 24 for the game for the Doctor. Maurice Lucas will come in the game. They have turned it over, palmed that basketball. It'll go back to the 76ers, up by 3, 8:06 left in the third. So Lucas back, stomach problem not serious. And Larry Steele checks in. Gross will take a break. Bibby cut off by Hollins. Proctor comes in on Steele against the double team away from Caldwell Jones. Back comes the Blazers. Davis will steal. Inside offense is the call against Johnny Davis, and the offensive foul syndrome continues in the spectacle.
It's really amazing how many times they're going to call those plays. Everybody's trying to get to the basket, and people keep getting in the way.
3-point Philadelphia lead. Mix right inside of Lucas.
Well, Steve Mix is doing a heck of a job with that tender ankle he has.
Erving matched against Lucas in this particular play. Steal. Davis comes right back inside. And look at Davis battle inside. Walton retrieved. Steele and Hollins play catch and steal. Taken off by Erving. Right side. Oh!
That's when the 76ers are at their best. Get those defensive boards, get them out. There you see the doctor on the break. Makes the good bounce pass to the man on the right, Collins, who takes it in. Bounce pass is the right pass to make there.
76ers have hit 7 of 8 this quarter. Short by Lucas. Here comes Mix. They've got their biggest margin off Hollins. He was in a little too far. Philadelphia keeps possession.
What happened that time, Lionel Hollins tied up Doug Collins, but Lionel Hollins was out of bounds when he did it. There we go, the break again. Nick should have given the ball up a little bit sooner. If he had given it out to Collins when he was at the foul line, he would have had a better chance to make the layup. It was a bad choice of a pass that time.
Timeout. Jack Ramsay will bring the Blazers over. 6 minutes and 43 seconds left in the third.
I'm Tom T. Hall, and that's a DC-3, 24,000 pounds of aircraft, and we're going to land it on 4 massive girder beam suspension systems, just like the heavy-duty suspension system and tires available on the Chevy C20 pickup. There, that's tough, and that's only once. That's 10 landings. That's 20 landings. Chevy trucks, tough in the right places. What a day!
Let's take a lot of pictures, okay?
Because your memories are important.
All right.
And because they happen only once, they deserve quality processing.
Hold it.
You can give your memories quality care
Let's mail the film tonight, okay?
with convenient Kodak mailers. Just drop in your Kodak color film, stamp, mail to Kodak, and Kodak will mail your prints right to your home.
What a shot.
What a subject.
Buy Kodak mailers for quality processing.
Sears National Automotive Values. If your car has over 20,000 miles on it, now's the time to drive into Sears for a free shock absorber check. While Sears heavy-duty shocks are on sale for just $4.99 each. You save over 30%.
Want a good radial tire at a good low price? Get a Sears Guardsman radial from $29.88 to $49. They're our lowest priced radials. Backed by Sears. Guardsman. At Sears.
Following the game, CBS Sports presents the Memorial Tournament with the top touring pros shooting for the championship. That's the Memorial Tournament from Muirfield Village Golf Club. Following the game.
Philadelphia owner Fitz Dixon and his entourage, encouraged by the score, the 76ers under Gene Shue ahead of Portland 71-64. Points from offensive rebounds. Interesting. Philadelphia has scored 13 and Portland 5. Those are points resulting directly from offensive rebounds. And it's a 7-point difference. Deflected Lucas. Walton has it on the turnover. Here come the Blazers. William and Hollins working together in the backcourt. Davis out. Steele is at the corner. Lucas at the power forward. Walton inside. Steele with a pretty move without the basketball and a good pass.
We saw Jack Ramsay. He liked that play, and that's how Portland does so well on offense. They execute super. When Walton has the ball, and the men are cutting.
Erving complaining that Steele was fouling and not defending him. Vanek not agreeing. Deflected by Hollins. And a loose ball foul is called against Bibby.
That's the 4th team foul right now on the Sixers, and Portland does not have any. With 5:56 to go, Portland should try to take advantage by getting inside and try to get to the foul line.
2 on Bibby. Lucas. Steele went down the same alley, and Mix with desire got up on one arm. The pass a little low. fix it down the floor, and he stayed with it that time. Gene Shue watching the action into Bibby. Walton was over and made Bibby go high with the shot. Erving on the steal. Erving in on Lucas. Erving misses and retrieves. And he was out of bounds.
Yes, Julius came from out of bounds to get the ball. He did not have both feet in bounds before he touched it. Good call by Earl Strom. See the play coming up right here. Julius stepped back inbounds, didn't have the second foot down.
5:21 left, third quarter. Game 1. Game 2 Thursday night on CBS, 9 p.m. Eastern Time. After this contest, final round of the Memorial Golf Tournament. Gilliam pops on Collins. He is a shooter. And it's 71-68. And here's that backcourt pressure that Ramsay wants. So center Caldwell Jones helps out, and then goes to Collins. Using the center to break the press. Collins with the shot. Dougie's got 21 points. And back come the Blazers. Lucas overmixes short. Walton with an offensive board, and Bill with a jumper.
Well, Bill is really shooting that ball super from the outside in this basketball game, and that's causing problems for the Sixer defense.
15 rebounds as Steele and Bibby collide as they come across the line. Steele went down to the ground. And officials conferring on the call. Double foul.
Earl Strom had a charge on Henry Bibby, and John Vanek, I believe, had a block on Larry Steele.
We're going to foul 16 red, and I think the foul 14 white, 15 red. It's a jump.
Exactly what we said, Brent. One's on Steele, one foul is on Henry Bibby. One official had one player, one had the other. And they're calling a jump ball, a compromise.
3 fouls on Bibby, 2 on Steele. 4 minutes and 34 seconds after that double foul. Remain to be played in quarter number 3. Portland trailing Philadelphia by 3 points. Portland in the road red, Philly in the home white. Lucas. Off to Gilliam, and here they come. Steele from the right corner. He's got it. It counts, and he threw the foul.
Doug Collins tried to get to Steele. Picked up the foul, his second.
Big shot by Steele under pressure from the corner.
There's the play here. Steele's going up with the jumper. Collins jumps at him right there. Larry Steele fell down. He does that all the time. It's one of his ploys. Doug Collins was upset, and it looked to me like he had a reason to be upset. Didn't seem like he made any contact at all.
Tied at 73. Team fouls this period. Philadelphia 5 and Portland none. And 4:19 to go. Bibby had it knocked away. Gilliam was pressuring him. The guards, 76ers 29. Portland 16 for points. Nicholas with a 2-stroke lead on Watkins in the final round coming up right after this action. Erving, turnaround. Walton came over neatly on the double team, and Jones was left alone on the other side as a result. Sixers up by 2, 3:58. Lucas bounced off of Nick's offense. And that's 3 on Lucas.
Let's take a look at this play here. The pass will come from Steele. Cross court to Maurice Lucas. He goes up right here and makes his move. Stops. Steve Mix giving a great acting job on that. Draws the foul. Should have been nothing call on that one.
Collins pressuring Collins. Stuck back and Collins really bounces off. And the foul right there is against Collins. 4 fouls on Lionel Hollins.
14.
Here we go on this play right here. We see Doug Collins make a spin move to go to the basket. Right there, Hollins called for the foul on Collins. His 4th. When we were away, they tried that sucker pass again to Julius Erving. He went up, missed the dunk, and the foul was called on Larry Steele. 2 fouls on Portland.
And 3 on Steele. Ramsay now over here checking. Shue called the foul on
Stop the
Steele.
game if you go like that. Don't make us call a loose ball foul. Hold it, please. Who's the foul? Steele or Hollins? 15. Steele. Don't you guys referee the game? No. Boy, I guess you figure.
I'll tell you exactly why. Rick Berry picked up the foul accurately, but the referee held his hand, and it looked like 14, which would have been Hollins. Now, Ramsay wants to check in a minute, because Hollins already has 4 fouls. That's why Ramsay went to make sure that the foul was on Steele. Hollins hits from the corner, 3:33, 23 points for Collins, 77-73. Sixers up by 4 points right now. Ramsay's men in red yoke back to work. Walton looking in. Here goes. Pass hit in the air, and it lasts by Portland, says Bannock. It'll go to the Sixers.
Well, there's a lot of intensity out here. Both teams giving it everything they've got on both ends of the floor.
24 turnovers by Portland to 14 for Philadelphia. That has been the critical statistic so far, that and the free throws in this game. Steele on the doctor. Erving on the turnaround. Outside.
Once the Doc gets going from out there, they've got big trouble.
26 for the game. Steele responds. Bibby, ball on the floor. This pass Gilliam wanted Mix, but he could not get Mix in his passing vision, and he was forced to go out of bounds on the turnover. Gene Shue have a timeout. He'll break the 76ers over. Portland goes over to Ramsay's bench. 2:47 left in the third.
Hey, Dr. J, where'd you get those moves? You move with such grace. Are you a member of the human race? Hey, Dr. J, where'd you get those moves? You're an artist, you're a wizard, and you float up in air. Everybody's wondering how'd you get there? Whoa. Hey, Dr. J, where'd you get those moves? Are you wearing magic shoes?
He's wearing Converse, the shoes of the stars.
This is a cubic foot. There are 5 more of these inside the new Chevrolet than there are inside this year's older style full-size cars of Chevy's nearest sales competitor. That's based on U.S. government estimates of vehicle interior size as reported in the 1977 EPA Guide for New Car Buyers. The new Chevrolet with 5 more cubic feet of room. It stacks up beautifully. Now that's more like it.
Are you still chained to? Gotcha. The rechargeable Norelco rotary razor lets you walk away, free from nicks and cuts. Its 36 surgical steel rotary razor blades are safely protected inside 3 floating heads to give you a comfortable shave that's razor close, razor smooth, for up to 3 weeks on a single charge. The rechargeable Norelco rotary razor. It lets you walk away from gotcha.
Next Saturday at 4:30 p.m. Eastern, CBS Sports Spectacular presents the 55th annual Red Bluff Roundup Rodeo with the top cowboys competing. Gary Wells will attempt to jump over 21.5 cars. And we'll have the Mixed Doubles Bowling Championship. That's all coming up next Saturday at 4:30 p.m. Eastern on the CBS Sports Spectacular.
George McGinnis sitting on Gene Shue's bench. 5 fouls, 6 points, all of them in the first half of this game. And we will take a close-up, isolated view of Walton and Caldwell Jones. Our director in the truck will study that action, and we'll bring you the replay back if we've got anything. Here now is Lionel Hollins. Bibby on him. Hollins takes the outside jump shot. Erving cleans up the miss.
Big story, Brains. The Sixers are playing tough defense, and they're not supposed to be known for that, and that's what's helped turn this game around.
Lucas jumped over on Collins and fouled him. 4 fouls on Maurice Lucas.
Let's watch what happens with Walton. You see what happens is Mix is staying right there. They're preventing Walton from getting his hands on the ball. They do not want him to be the hub of that offense. Look at him ride him out right there. Keep him away from the boards. Julius takes it down.
And you wonder if Philadelphia can keep that up against Walton. Mix with a turnaround on Lucas. Little jump hook. Walton out quickly. Bounce to Gilliam from Hollins, a pretty play.
That's Portland's fast break run to perfection. Walton out with the quick outlet to Hollins, Hollins to Gilliam.
Pressure basketball, the title of Dr. Jack Ramsay's book. Practice what you preach, says the doctor. It's 79-75, 1:45 left in the third. Bill Walton came out on him. Jones with the offensive rebound, takes it outside.
Another one of those offensive boards. That's been a big downfall so far for the Portland team, giving them that second opportunity.
Mike Dunleavy will check in for shoes. Steele goes baseline and shoots the pass to Lucas. Gilliam outside over Collins. Not a good shot in that situation. Back now come the Sixers. Vivian Collins. Oh, Collins coming inside was fouled.
Sixers are really able to generate their type of an offense. They're forcing Portland to miss from the outside now. Their shot selection has not been good. They're doing the same thing Philadelphia did in the first half when Portland got more fast breaks. The situation's reversed now, Brent. Portland shooting from the outside, missing. They're keeping the ball away from Bill Walton. And now the Sixers are coming out on the break.
3 fouls on Gilliam. The round of applause for the young, strong man, Daryl Dawkins. Lloyd Neal in, and Bill Walton goes out.
Right in the first half, Portland had 9 chances on the break to only 6 for the 76ers. The Sixers now have had 12 opportunities. Portland only 10.
1:16 left in the third. 83-75, 8-point difference in the Spectrum. Game 2, Thursday night on CBS, 9 p.m. Eastern Time. See how Dawkins defends against Neal. There won't be any battling after a shot outside like that by Lucas. We're inside of a minute. 3 field goals separate. Dunleavy comes up on Gilliam. Nix comes way outside away from Lucas. Hollins came inside. Drew the foul as he roared into the basket. It's on Lucas, his 5th foul. 5 fouls on Jack Ramsay, strong forward. He goes to the bench immediately.
Take a look at this last play. Collins takes the jumper, sees it, it's off. Comes right in and follows it up, goes to the basket. Lucas didn't look like he hit him. Of course, the angle here is a little bit tough, but he was upset about it and was complaining that he did not hit Doug Collins. Doug Collins made the play, Brent, by following his missed shot.
Collins at the line. Corky Calhoun has replaced Lucas. Calhoun did not play at all against the Los Angeles Lakers.
Perfect from the line. 18 for 18 now for the 76ers.
35 seconds. Third quarter. Calhoun wears number 10. Off to Gilliam, who's 3. Up past Steele. Neal, offensive rebound. Gilliam puts a move on Dunleavy. Steele, 2 offensive rebounds. Off Calhoun's hands. He was in a little too tight. Collins in a race. Dunleavy underneath. No basket. It's a foul on Dunleavy. It'll go to Portland with 11 seconds to go in the third.
That's the bonus situation right now. Portland will go to the foul line.
Gene Shue races up the sideline. How they love Daryl Dawkins here in Philadelphia. His fan club up all night, painting that banner.
Doug Collins and Julius Erving are leading the way for the Sixers here. We mentioned at the top of the show, Collins and Erving both with 12 points in the third quarter.
Calhoun and the Blazers get an opportunity with 5 seconds to move to within 5 points. Hollins, offensive foul. That is 5 on Lionel Hollins.
And a technical foul as well. He made like he was going to throw the ball really hard at John Maddox. John elected to call a technical foul on him. We'll see the play right here. Steve Nicks makes a good defensive play. Here comes Hollins now driving over to the side. Mix jumps out at him. He sees that he's there, loses his balance, and goes into him. Now let's see if we can watch right there when he does that. Calls the technical foul. There's a lot worse things were happening out there, Brent, and a lot of language being said, and I don't know why John picked on Hollins at that particular time.
The last 2 seconds of the third quarter are about to unfold. Portland will pressure the basketball, try to smother any attempt at a long shot. They get Ramsay back. Lob pass to Neal, and the third quarter will come to an end. 12 minutes to go. Philadelphia leading Portland 86-78. First game of the NBA World Championship Series.
Мне нравится ваша рубашка.
He admires your shirt.
It's a cotton-rich fabric called Natural Blend. Да. It's the Cotton Arrow by Arrow, 60% cotton, so it breathes. Dushat. It's got the extra comfort of extra cotton, plus durable press, no iron. No iron. Natasha will do anything but iron my shirt.
If you're looking for comfort, look for the seal of cotton. The more cotton, the better you feel.
The NBA World Championship Series will continue after this word from your local station. Its title is Red Sun, but it's Charles Bronson and Ursula Andress who create the heat in this Western thriller, Wednesday night on CBS.
What makes the Erving different from other banks?
For me, it's Joan Dooley.
The Erving? Art Kenny.
Someone who knows me, Don Wilbur.
What makes the Erving different? Lynn Weiger, my personal banker. She knew I could qualify for charter check credit. So now I can write checks for more than my balance and get an automatic loan. Whatever I want from the bank, Lynn knows how to take care of it.
One face, one name, one number to call. Your own personal banker. That's what makes the Erving different.
This truck is a financial and ecological disaster.
Yeah, Charlie, why don't you clean up your act?
You asked for it. You got it, Toyota.
Clean up your financial act with a Toyota truck. They get great Toyota gas mileage. And of course, Toyota trucks offer another impressive financial incentive. They're built for the long haul. Toyota, it's just good common sense.
You got it, Toyota.
Before a packed house in the Philadelphia Spectrum, the 76ers and the Portland Trail Blazers head into the final quarter of Game 1 of the World Championship Series. 76ers lead at 86-78. They have possession. Joe Bryant, Mike Dunleavy, Darryl Dawkins, Doug Collins, and Steve Mix open against Johnny Davis, Lloyd Neal, Gilliam, Gross, and Walton. Walton jumped over there. Outlet now to Gilliam. Mix on him. Dawkins there. Gilliam retrieves. Davis slides inside. That will be on Darryl Dawkins. Johnny Davis will go to the line. Very interesting statistic about him as we watch the play here. We'll bring it up. Here's the pass to Davis. He makes the move to the hoop. Gets caught up in the air right there on the arm. Dawkins with the foul. Davis, in the last 5 games, has started and averaged 16 points, shooting 57% from the floor. He only has 2 points. That's his third point right there in this basketball game. And in those 5 games, Portland won all of them. Filled in for the injured Dave Twardzik. Twardzik has been in briefly here in this game. Neal out of bounds. It'll go to Philadelphia. How important is winning the first game of a championship series? Well, in 30 previous seasons, the team winning the first game has won the NBA title 24 times. It is a critical game statistically. Dawkins to Collins. Gilliam picked off by Mix. Neal on the switch. Shot missed. 7-point 76er lead. Gilliam outside. Caldwell Jones will check back in.
Portland hanging tough right now. That cuts the lead back down to 5. A lot of time to go.
Erving will also check back in. Dawkins turns around on Walton. He'll outlet to Gilliam. sticks. Walton with that good touch.
Bill Walton's going to have to shoot the ball a little bit more, Brent, to help get his back in the basketball game. Gene Shue, I think, wants a timeout.
He's got it. Walton now has scored 22 points. And, of course, 3 players have 5 fouls. Lucas, Hollins, and McGinnis. The doctor will be back when you come back. He scored 26.
With great skill and discipline, you teach what's been kept a secret for centuries, a little bit at a time. And when the lesson has been taught and learned, now comes Miller time. Time to head for the best tasting beer you can find. Miller High Life, America's quality beer since 1855.
If you got the time, we've got the beer. Miller tastes too good to hurry through. And when it's time to relax, one beer stands clear. Oh, if you got the time, we've got the beer. Yeah, Miller beer.
Hello, National. I need a car tomorrow in Dallas. My green light number is 28517.
I make your reservation. 6 minutes all it takes.
I wash the car, check the oil.
I test the tires and brakes.
I make sure that they are all completely up to par.
I hand you the keys to a General Motors car.
10,000 people working for you. The big green team. We're nice and low.
Ben-Hur. Charlton Heston stars in the motion picture that captures the majesty of ancient Rome and the barbaric spectacle of a time that saw the crucifixion of Christ. A spectacular film on an epic scale, winner of 11 Academy Awards. Ben-Hur, this week's Sunday night movie at 8, 7 Central.
Back-to-back bogeys by Jack Nicklaus. It tightens up at the Memorial. We'll go there right after Game 1 of the NBA World Championship Series. And don't forget Game 2 coming your way Thursday night on CBS, 9 p.m. Eastern Time. Pressure from the Blazers. They trail Philadelphia by 3 right now. And they're jumping all over, double-teaming the ball with Gilliam and Davis as Ramsay goes to the defense he likes best. Here's Erving against Gross. Julius. And Walton yanks it down. Off to Gilliam. We're going to keep a close eye on Bill Walton. Laid back that time. Gross keeps it in play for Portland. They get a second chance. Neal. Stolen by Mix. But remember, Walton stayed back, and it paid a dividend. No easy basket that time for Philadelphia. Inside to Dunleavy, and Neal blocks it off for Portland. Maurice Lucas sitting out with 5 fouls. 5 for Lionel Hollins. Walton makes it a 1-point game.
Let's watch Bill Walton on defense the last time. Look at him making anticipation. He sees the man coming, reaches out, good hand action, knocks it away.
1-point difference, 9:29 left, and Johnny Davis came in behind Erving and stole it. Portland can go ahead here. They stayed close when things were tough. And Mix again got into the passing lane. Here he comes on the turnover. Cut beautifully on Davis in on the other side.
Steve Mix making another big steal. That's 2 in a row for him. Makes a good crossover dribble, gets Johnny Davis across his legs, and makes the good play.
3-point Philly lead. Walton waits, backs into Jones, now jumps up. He'll have a couple of shots coming at the line. Caldwell Jones.
Bill Walton was upset that he missed that shot. He's been so hot, he expects everything to go in.
4 fouls on Jones. Joe Bryant in. Dunleavy and Mix out. So Gene Shue electing to leave George McGinnis on the bench. Walton's total so far with 8 minutes and 48 seconds to go. He's shooting 10 of 15 from the floor.
Bill Walton with a chance to cut the lead to 1 point only for the 76ers, but you must remember that Portland has 2 of their top players, Lionel Hollins and Maurice Lucas, on the bench.
with 5 personal fouls, and yet they're keeping the game close.
Free throw here, and it'll be a 1-point game. 8:48 left in the Spectrum. Walton back pressuring Jones. Caldwell gets it to Bibby. And Neal with another block. That's 2 quick blocks by Lloyd Neal.
The crowd's yelling just after Lloyd Neal blocks the shot. As we see here, he hits Henry Bibby and knocks him down. Here's Jones with a good bounce pass, gets it by his man. Bibby goes up for the shot. Neal makes the block, clean block, but watch him with the body right there. Knocks him down. That's what the crowd was yelling about.
Hollins throw the pass inbounds. Some of the sweat of a grueling battle being removed from the floor now by one of the ball boys here in Philadelphia. From beginning to end, this has been a struggle. Off Bryant on the turnover. Here comes Portland. They can go ahead. 8:33. Goes to Walton. Maybe on the other side. Portland turns it over one more time. 29 turnovers by the Blazers so far. And Philly gives it right back. Off to Gilliam. Behind the movement. Behind his back, and he travels, says Earl Strong.
I'd like to see this one myself. He made a heck of a play right there to try and fake the defense out, but got himself off balance. There's a steal by Walton right there. Pitches it out over to Gilliam. Now watch Gilliam right here. One. That's not a walk.
Gross on Erving. Julius waits for Collins. Takes it himself. They clear his side. It counts. Gross fouled. 5 fouls on Bobby Gross.
There's the play again. Julius goes to his left. Bobby lets him get all the way up. He goes for the shot, fouls him on the arm after he shoots it. That's a tough shot. You've got to let a man shoot that. If he's going to beat you with it, he will beat you with it, but you can't go along with it and compound it by picking up a foul, especially your 5th.
That's 29 for Erving. He's going to make it 9 times in 21 games, up over 30 points for the Sixers. Walton puts it down. Collins comes over on the double team. And Davis retrieves with that quickness, and Gilliam fires. Big basket there, 91-89. Makes it 2-7-34 for the game.
Those are second opportunities. They will hurt you so often.
Now every play magnifies. Hollins. Bibby with an offensive rebound and a loose ball foul. Lloyd Neal on Bibby. 2 fouls on Neal.
That's 2 team fouls for each team right now. Not a real factor at this point. It's a slow motion play, and Bibby gets it. You suit Neal, reach in, pick up the foul.
They clear the other side for the Doctor. It's 1-on-1, get 4 men to the other side, and here talks you take it. Philadelphia's favorite play.
Just have to take that right side away from him. I'm surprised Bobby gave it to him.
Believed he was fouled. Erving with control. Philly up 93-89. Bryant back to Erving. Gross has just fouled out. Bobby Gross has fouled out with 6 minutes and 48 seconds to go.
Jack Ramsay going to make some changes. Bobby goes out of the game. There's the last play by the Doctor. Now Bobby's giving him the left side. He freezes him. He was shading him to the right side, but the Doc still managed to beat him. Great play by Julius.
Gilliam going to the bench. Hollins is back. Larry Steele, Lloyd Neal, and Bill Walton up front. 93-89. Hollins playing with 5 fouls. Erving jumped past to Jones. Walton came over with Neal.
Now the team foul situation becomes a factor.
Neal fouled it.
There's the play coming up here. You see Steele really taking the right side away from Doc. Good play. Doc draws some men to him, makes a great pass off, and the foul by Lloyd Neal underneath. They had their choice. Bill Walton might have been able to get it on that one also.
Lucas is back, and so too is George McGinnis.
14 fouls now for the Blazers. Next one is the bonus situation. Only 2 on the Sixers. 5. But the Docs still managed to beat him. Great play by Julius.
Gilliam going to the bench. Hollins is back. Larry Steele, Lloyd Neal, and Bill Walton up front. 93-89. Hollins playing with 5 fouls. Erving jumped past to Jones. Walton came over with Neal.
Now the team foul situation becomes a factor.
Neal fouled him.
There's Lucas coming up here. You see Steele really taking the right side away from Doc. Good play. Doc draws some men to him, makes a great pass off, and the foul by Lloyd Neal underneath. They had their choice. Bill Walton might have been able to get it on that one also.
Lucas is back, and so too is George McGinnis.
14 fouls now for the Blazers. Next one is the bonus situation. Only 2 on the Sixers.
5 fouls on McGinnis and 5 fouls on Lucas. 6 minutes and 37 seconds and a 4-point difference. Make it 5. Nicholas and Watkins tied. Nicholas with some problems. Watkins with a birdie. Final round coming your way right after this game.
Lionel Hollins also in the game with 5 fouls.
Back to 6 and 6:37. Hollins waits. Davis pops free, and McGinnis came out on him, and Davis hit a big basket right now. That's 95-91, and under pressure, a big, big hoop for Portland.
Every play so critical right now.
3 players with 5 fouls out there. McGinnis up outside, giving him the shot, still won't stay. Loose ball underneath as Jones wins a rebound. He pushed off, and he picked up his 5th foul. We've now got 4 players with 5 fouls on the floor.
Here's the play. George McGinnis electing to go for the outside shot. You see right there, Jones pushing off Walton.
4-point difference. And a turnover, number 31. According to Ron Pollock, my stats man, and that has plagued Portland throughout this game. The center helping out against Jack Ramsay's pressure. 95-91. 5 minutes and 40 seconds left for the game. McGinnis looking to pass right now. Scored 6 in the first half. Bibby will take the shot. 6-point lead. Portland in need of someone to come away with 2 right now. 5:23. Walton wants it. Steele maneuvers Erving with an effective double team. Steele takes his man right to him and missed the shot. Steele runs to the corner and stepped on the line. So it'll go to Philadelphia. Timeout has been called in the Spectrum.
Well, Jack Ramsay wants to get the team together and try and get them to sit down and run their offense again. They are not getting the ball into Bill Walton. They're being forced to take those outside shots. That, along with the turnovers right now, has been their big bugaboo.
If you're thinking about a new wagon this year, think about Chevy Vega. Every new Vega wagon offers a Durabuild engine guarantee that covers repairs due to defects in materials or workmanship for 5 years or up to 60,000 miles. And when you consider Vega Wagon's EPA mileage ratings, that should brighten the day even more. Chevy Vega. See it at America's complete shopping center for wagons, the Chevrolet Wagon Stop.
The Bell system recognizes that many seemingly unrelated business problems are really communications problems in disguise. So we've provided our account representatives with the skills and equipment they need to take a company's problems and our solutions to them and fit them together into a total communications system. For we firmly believe that in solving problems for companies like yours, the system is the solution.
We put Mobil 1 into this car and drove it 15,000 miles without an oil change. We then tested the oil and found that used Mobil 1 still protected the engine as well as new ordinary motor oil. Mobil 1, the oil that saves you gas, saves you oil changes.
An Academy Award-winning movie special. Barbara Streisand stars with Walter Matthau as the matchless matchmaker in everyone's life.
Climb in. I'm feeling an updraft in my underpants.
I have no intention of asking you to marry me.
Well, I'm sorry, Horace. I'm turning you down.
Hello, Dolly. Monday at 8, 7 Central.
Back in Philadelphia, the loudest I have heard the spectrum all season. Portland's problems, turnovers. They've pressured Chicago into 36 turnovers, which has been the highest in the playoffs so far. They are having problems, and I can't help but believe that long layoff affected them. Jack Ramsay may not want to use it as an excuse, but nevertheless it is there, and we should talk about it. 5:11 to go. McGinnis with the ball on the floor. A 6-point 76er lead. Davis goes out with Bibby. If Philadelphia gets too cautious, they'll have nothing but trouble. It was hit, so Collins regained control as the shot clock wanted Erving. Collins and Erving work it to keep it in play, and McGinnis. Erving battling and off now come the Blazers. Portland can cut it to within 4. Lucas comes over on the screen. Steele underneath with a key offensive rebound. Hollins outside. Ball Portland's way. 4:27. 97-91. Julius Erving with 31 points. Goes in. 33. He's unbelievable when he takes over one-on-one. Steele comes back. And a key basket. They could have lost contact. 99-93. Bibby being pressured by Lionel Hollins, and that's it. Lionel Hollins has fouled out. He is the second Blazer to foul out. Bobby Gross the first.
He leaves the game with only 8 points, and he's been scoring a lot more than that in playoff competition. And it is the bonus. Henry Bibby will go to the foul line. 1-1 for 2, and a chance to open this Sixer lead up to 8 points.
Against Philadelphia this season, Lionel Hollins in 4 regular season games averaged 22 points a game. He shot 54% from the floor. Here he is fouled out with 8. Gross has fouled out with 16. And I can't help but again repeat that Henry Bibby comes up with those subtle big plays that don't show up in the box score.
Well, he missed those 2 free throws and giving Portland another break.
Gilliam. Lucas. Loose ball. Caldwell Jones with control. 3:47. A 6-point Philly lead. McGinnis goes underneath and takes Lucas. They clear out the left if the doctor wants it. Gilliam goes on the double team and McGinnis underneath.
That's what happens when the doctor has the ball. The defensive men sometimes get so engrossed watching him they forget where their men are, and George slipped under the basket. There's the play right here. Here's Doctor with the ball. Now watch Walton and Maurice Lucas. They start watching the doc. Lucas just watches. McGinnis slides right by him. Terrible defensive play that time. Good pass by Erving and a good smart move by McGinnis.
Crowd in Philadelphia. Standing ovation, and now they relax. Ramsay checking the board. Ricky found 3 minutes and 22 seconds, 101-93. They're under a great deal of pressure right now because they have lost 2 players. Let's listen to Jerry.
Gonna run, Bill. Gonna run a rebel 7. Watch this side. Rebel 7. Here's the loose side. We'll rub off the ball.
Where he said he's going to run a rub-off 7, which is a play evidently for the ball to go into Bill Walton. Try to get some of that cutting to the basket, something that Portland has not done very much of in this second half. And this has been a big reason why they're falling behind the Sixers at this juncture. They've been relying on the outside shots. They've had the opportunities, but the ball is not falling. The Sixers, meanwhile, have played good defense to force Portland outside. They've turned those misses into fast break opportunities, and that's the way they like to play. A lot of credit to the Sixers for their defense in this second half.
Hollins and Gross out of the game. Davis, Gilliam, Walton, Steele, and Lucas. 3:22 left for Jack Ramsay's men.
They need a basket here very badly, Brent. This is the most crucial point of the game, as it usually is when you get down low in a close ball game. If they don't score here and Philadelphia does, they could possibly put it out of reach.
Deciding where to spot the ball where the timeout was called. They said that Portland was in the attack court. Portland has won its last 5 games. The playoff record is 7. The streak in jeopardy. And you can see how they're just double-teaming Walton so effectively, as Rick has been pointing out. Lucas at the perimeter with a key shot now. 101-95. It's 6 and 3 minutes.
Once again, Philly forced him outside.
And look at Johnny Davis get in on McGinnis and Bibby. Bibby regains control. Bibby comes past Gilliam. Off now to Caldwell. It goes to McGinnis. McGinnis maneuvers. 3 traveling is called. I thought for a moment they might call a 3-second violation. It was traveling. 6 points, 2:45. Turnover. Jones trying to muscle Walton. And he has picked up his 6th foul. So he becomes the 3rd. Hold on now. The table tells us 5. Is it? I think it's 6. Here it is. Here it is. Yes, he has fouled out. We got it straight now. Caldwell Jones has fouled out. So he's the 3rd player to leave. And it means that a young man by the name of Daryl Dawkins must go in and play Bill Walton with 2 minutes and 37 seconds left. And Walton's Portland Trailblazers trailing by 6.
And now that's the 4th foul on the Sixers in the team situation. Next one will be the bonus for Portland, so both teams in the bonus. Big series coming up here for both teams.
2 fouls on Dawkins, if you're wondering how many he has. And look at Walton call for it. Didn't touch it that time. Davis goes to Lucas. Got McGinnis on the floor and came right back at him. 101-97. It's a 4-point game right now. And 2:23. Portland with 2 starters on the bench. And the Memorial Tournament next. Jack Nicklaus on his home ground. The course he designed, trying to pull one off. And game 2 of this struggle next Thursday night on CBS, 9 p.m. Eastern Time. That's Thursday night. Erving comes down, slides inside. There you go. It'll go to Portland, and they can pull to within 2 points. You've got to admire what Portland has done in this game with 2 starters out.
So many little things happen in the game that can turn it around. George McGinnis had inside position on that ball. If he had kept control of it, he had an easy layup. Couldn't hold on to it. Now Portland has a chance to cut it to 2.
Walton out high. Lucas in on his side behind him. Lucas wants Nix. Triple team. Walton all alone as Dawkins stepped over. It's 101-99. Dawkins stepped away. Walton was there, and Lucas hit him. It's a 2-point game. 143. The 76ers have got to talk it over right now, Rick.
Here we see the play now as Lucas makes Nix out, makes a drive baseline. Dawkins goes over to pick up. So does Julius, leaving Bill Walton wide open. Nice pass. Dunk shot cuts it to 2. We have got a game.
How do you spell relief?
When I get acid indigestion, I spell relief. R-O-L-A-I-D-S.
For heartburn? R-O-L-A-I-D-S. Rolaids spells relief. In this test with Rolaids active ingredient, laboratory acid changes color to prove Rolaids consumes 47 times its weight in excess stomach acid. How do you spell relief?
For gas? I spell it R-O-L-A-I-D-S.
Rolaids spells relief.
No roads too rough, we're the Kellys.
Here's our latest Kelly, the best and toughest Kelly tire yet, the Kelly Aramid Plus Radial, made with an extraordinary fiber called Aramid that's as tough as steel but more flexible than steel. And that means a more comfortable ride for you. The Kelly Aramid Plus Radial.
We're good and tough, we're the Kellys. Rolling, rolling, rolling.
Thursday at 9 p.m. Eastern, CBS Sports will present the second game of the NBA Championship with Portland taking on Philadelphia, followed by the third game on Sunday tipping off at 3:30 p.m. That's Thursday at 9 p.m., Sunday at 3:30 p.m. for the NBA Championship.
Timeouts remaining, 1 minute and 40 seconds left in Game 1 of the NBA World Championship Series. The bench scoring. And, of course, that also reflects the two Portland starters fouled out, and Ramsay has had to rely on his bench. Larry Steele and Gilliam. Walton, Davis, and Lucas against Collins, Erving, Dawkins, Mix, and Bibby. McGinnis back over on Gene Shue's bench. Was in a shooting slump throughout the Houston series and has not yet snapped out of it. So a 2-point Philadelphia lead. We come toward 135. Erving triple teamed, jumps it off now to Collins, and Walton flying out on him. Dawkins underneath. Foul called on Gilliam. Lucas can't believe it. Or is that Lucas over there? That's Lucas. That's his 6th foul. Lucas picked it up underneath. I thought it was Gilliam under there.
Good defense being played by Portland. They triple team Julius. He makes a long pass outside. The shot by Collins, no good. Ball comes off loose. There we say it, being in the right place. Dawkins goes up. Lucas called for the foul. Just a game of inches, Brent.
And tremendous emotion.
They force a team to take a tough shot. They miss the whole basket. Play that tough defense. The other team gets it back. Boy, that really hurts.
You ride such a crest of emotions in an NBA championship series. Lloyd Neal will replace Maurice Lucas.
The young man standing at the foul line, Brent, is probably in the biggest pressure situation that he's ever been in his young stages of this career of his. He's got a tremendous future, but these are some big free throws.
I got 2 more.
Show me a little something with that one, Brent.
Makes them both. The young man from Orlando, Florida, puts the Sixers up by 4. Time remaining. You can watch it count down. Left corner. Blazers maneuver without 3 starters who have fouled out. Gilliam had it knocked away by Collins. Dawkins out on the move. Foul on Steele in the backcourt.
Doug Collins, who has been such a factor both offense and defensively, just came up with a great play here. He just was all over Hiram Gilliam. Here's the play now. Now watch the defense on Collins. He is not about to give up any. Doesn't take the fake, stays down. Great hands, reaches in, knocks it loose. Steele picks up the foul as Dawkins tries to come up the floor. Dawkins with 3 to make 2.
Ramsay watching the young man. He has hit 3 clutch free throws. Here comes the penalty. Collins in quickly.
He's telling him not to fall back on the shot is what happened because Dawkins fell back in that last attempt.
Stayed with it. 104.99, a 5-point difference. Blazers have a minute to work with. Steele inside of a minute, and they're up and applauding in Philadelphia. We'll be going to the winner's locker room. 76ers winding it down. Lloyd Neal had jumped over on Mix. Sixers ball. season long, I have wondered about the blasé crowds here in Philadelphia. Not to be compared with the madhouse that is Portland, but not today. 30 points for Doug Collins. And that is the 34th Portland turnover. But don't anybody walk away from this game and count the Portland Trailblazers out of this series. This is a long layoff. 3 of Jack Ramsay's starters fouled out, and they were right in it. Walker's behind into Doug. Off iron. Mixed retrieves. So it's just ended as Walton comes out. Forced to with 10 ticks left on the clock. Collins and Mix congratulate each other. And if there was an added factor today, it was this crowd. The exuberance of a winner.
This is the magic shot.
Countdown. Stops at 4 as the whistle was blown on that foul. Joe Bryant with the foul. Herm Gilliam at the line. And a reminder of what's next. $13 for Gilliam. Game 2 Thursday night, 9 p.m. Eastern Time on CBS. Again, remember, Thursday night. This is going to be a classic series before it's over. Game 1 is over. Philadelphia overjoyed. And Portland saying, don't celebrate prematurely. We still have 3 losses to go. So that 5-game winning streak of the Trailblazers comes to an end. They had eliminated Denver. Then they swept Los Angeles out of the way. Here today in Philadelphia, they ran into the charged-up Philadelphia 76ers. They were beaten 107-101 as the 76ers file into their victorious locker room. Coach Gene Shue. Julius Erving with 33. It was just a year ago when he got 45 points in the opening game of the ABA championship in Denver, including the final 2 points at the
We're good and tough, we're the Kellys. No roads too rough, we're the Kellys.
When you need tires, from basic 4-ply tires to our latest Aramid Plus radial tires, you ought to ask for the Kellys. The Kellys. They're good and tough.
We're good and tough, we're the Kellys. Rolling, rolling, rolling.
The Fiat 128. In '69, the year it was introduced, the automotive press named it Car of the Year in England, Car of the Year in Germany, Car of the Year in Sweden, Holland, Denmark, Czechoslovakia. And when it was introduced to America, it was named Economy Car of the Year in America. And now is the best time to buy a Fiat 128 in years, because Fiat dealers are in a position of taking literally hundreds of dollars off 76 sedans, coupes, and wagons. It's got to be the deal of the year.
All right, we're back now on the Spectrum. Let me quickly run down some of the final scoring. 33 for Erving, only 8 for George McGinnis. We'll wonder about him now as the series unfolds. 30 for Doug Collins, who was absolutely magnificent. Some believe that within a couple of years he'll be the finest guard in the NBA. But let's not overlook the Trailblazers and Lionel Hollins, who fouled out today and was way below his average against Philadelphia. He had averaged 24 points a game in 4 previous meetings, held to only 8 today. Lucas fouls out. He had scored 18 points. Gross fouls out. He had scored 16 points. Bill Walton scored 28, and it's amazing because I thought the key was the defensive work that Philadelphia did against Bill Walton, how they clogged up the middle. Do you remember the Los Angeles series? The ball was always going into Walton. He was waiting patiently for a cutter. He would either dish it off to one of the men or take the jump hook shot. Well, today the ball didn't get into Walton that often. And again, as we pointed out, what about the long layoff? How much did that affect the Portland Trailblazers today? Most teams would like to play 2 or 3 times in a week. Portland, because of the Houston-Philadelphia series, forced to lay off. Now they will come back on Thursday night, and today, of course, they had 34 turnovers. Let's go to the Philadelphia locker room and Rick Barry. Rick?
I have with me 2 men who have really been carrying the Sixers in the playoffs. Julius Erving here on my right and Doug Collins on my left. Doug, I mentioned early in the ball game you weren't a factor offensively, and then as soon as I said it, you started taking off and doing things and scored about 6 or 8 points in a row. What were you thinking about?
Well, I think early we were trying to get Julius and George off. George, we wanted to get him off especially early to get his confidence. And then all of a sudden, I got a couple buckets. I even banked one from the side, so that tells you a little bit. But
well, you had a heck of a game. It was a real good start for you fellas, and good luck to you the rest of this series. And Julius, of course, you had another great offensive game, and you've been shooting the ball better than you had during the regular season. But what I was impressed with was the defense that you fellas played in the second half. You particularly were dropping back on Bill and making it impossible to get him in there. What was your strategy defensively?
Well, defensively, they play a passing game very well, so we wanted to just not make his passes easy, not make it easy for him to see the cutters, because I guess we watched the L.A. series, and Portland got a lot of layups against L.A., and we didn't want that to happen to us.
It looks like you're getting an opportunity to go to your right a great deal, which I know that you prefer. You understand why they're playing you that way?
Well, sometimes I just take the right. A guy will be overplaying me on my right side, but if that side is clear, I can, just take a dribble back and then go around the guy and utilize the long stride that I have to get around him. And then other times I'll settle for going left, but, you got to give it to him both ways.
Well, Doc, continued success here. Let's go back to Brent Musburger.
All right, Rick, thank you very much. A reminder, Game 2 of this championship series, Thursday night on CBS, 9 p.m. Eastern Time. Our producer today, Chuck Milton. Our director, Sandy Grossman, an outstanding job. Coming up next, the Memorial Golf Tournament Final. For Rick Barry, Brent Musburger saying so long from the Spectrum in Philadelphia.
The NBA World Championship on CBS is sponsored by the Kelly Springfield Tire Company. The Kellys, they're good and tough. The NBA on CBS is a presentation of CBS Sports.